A hat. Hey everybody, it's great to be with you all. A brand new one, it looks like. Perfect. There, we'll cover up my bald head so you don't have to put up with any glare that may come up. Hey, it's Friedman Adventures. I don't know how long my voice is going to hold up. I'm hoping it's going to be a long time because Sam De La Torre is here from Island Fishing Tackle. Sam, good to see you.
Good to see you, Phil.
My pleasure. And we have a studio audience. Anthony Amalfitano is there. We're going to have Anthony come on and describe some stuff to you all here in just a little bit. But I got to say, what an extraordinary time in sport fishing.
Oh, my gosh.
All it takes is Phil Friedman to predict a cooler water albacore year, and we got Dorado crawling all over the coast. I mean, I would never have thought in a million years, because the scientists were all saying La Nina, cold water, which it is, but we have this warm water extending from Baja all the way up. It's extraordinary the amount of...
you just can't refute it. I mean, look, you know, we can, all these models and predictions, but it's, when the fish show up, what are you going to say? They're here.
And Sam, isn't that part of the beauty of this game?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you just really never know.
Yeah.
It's so enigmatic, the whole thing. And I've got some great stories. Sean Morgan, I don't know if you heard that whole thing.
A little bit, yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell that story. Of course, we had the freelance today, not too far outside of the coastline there. Had 83 Dorado, a 3-hour drift. Tremendous fishing there. Down the Baja coast, you know, the T-Bird was out. Scott Buchert reporting. Scott, I've been on the phone with him
on the spot
68 times today. And he said that they hit 2 kelps. They were done on Dorado and yellowtail by 10 a.m.
That's crazy.
They were eating that 80-pound.
Well, and that's the thing. Dorado is another one of those kind of milestone species that people want to catch, you know. And sometimes it's kind of hard to get on that kind of trip. You know, either you go out of San Diego and you got to drive all the way out there. So when that stuff comes up in our area, it's just one of those milestone species. So I think people are really, really, really benefiting from that right now. It's huge. You know?
Yeah, because you have in your head, you got to go to Mexico or Costa Rica or...
Well, it is a tropical style fish.
Right.
You know, it isn't something that we catch anytime other than when it's super warm. So they're here.
and the amount of fish, it's really incredible what I'm hearing. Sean Morgan was on a yacht, and he said he came up on a kelp that was like that, you know, nothing, but it went down about 100 yards. He said there were hundreds of Dorado on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, ever since a couple weeks ago, we have been seeing these Dorado. They're just starting to click. There's also yellowfin tuna that have moved up into our local waters. They're not biting yet, typical early season fish that haven't acclimated and they haven't gone on the bite, but it's looking really crazy. Shoot, let me, Travis, $5 he threw our way. Thank you so much. 540 Slinger. I'm sitting back with my pup waiting for the podcast. That's Jeff Yeomans. Jeff, I hope you notice what shirt I'm wearing tonight, Jeff, for you. Oscar, he says hello. Kevin Acevedo is saying hello. And we've got a ton of guys who really, really, really are happy to see you. Phil, you are one of my favorite shows to watch. Daniel Leanos. Daniel, really appreciate that. Let me thank some sponsors real quick, and then Sam and I are going to get into the bite. Sam's going to have some tackle tips. Sam has some lures to give away today. Anthony's going to have some stuff for us. First of all, optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and you'll get a handwritten note as well as a free gift from my friend Greg Brown. Daiwa, making such quality stuff, including spinning reels, which are perfect for fishing this grade of Dorado and yellowfin tuna, and also catching these yellowtail. It's perfect, right, Sam?
And I will say, you know, I don't know if it's just us talking about it so much or people kind of getting on board, but I will say the last three weeks or so, our spinning reel sales have been going up.
Really?
Up and up. Yeah, every day we're selling, and nice stuff too, not just your like basic pier stuff, but nice stuff. You know, the stuff that you would catch a yellowtail with, or Dorado with, tuna with. We've been selling a lot of it here every day.
I mean, it's really ridiculous, that whole stigma thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And guys are using it, they're having success with it. I mean, they're coming back. New Top Shots, just like a regular reel. It's working really good. So I'm glad people are really paying attention.
You know, I've got a couple of people I work with at the Orange County Fair, and I want to take them fishing. And so, you know, trying to show them how to throw a lure or something on a conventional reel is a nightmare. Yeah. But I can literally show them pretty quick with a spinning reel, and they can be on.
And have a good time, yeah.
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
Exactly. 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro. Some guy came in here and says, You need to say San Pedro once in a while. I see, I go to my Spanish right when I see Pedro.
Yeah.
So San Pedro, California. Great fleet of boats here. You're going to hear a lot of commotion. We leave the door open so you can hear it all. Malahini out of H&M Landing in San Diego. Our next trip is August the 19th. Are you going on that trip?
I'm planning on it.
All right,
Planning on
perfect.
it, yeah.
Anthony's even talking about that, and he's going to talk about something special he's going to do on there with a Daiwa reel. So our next trip will be August the 19th. You'll be able to join us and fish with us. Should be a lot of fun. Island Fishing Tackle in the beautiful city of Carson, California. Where is that place? Who is that guy?
Just down the street.
Is that you?
That's me. Yeah.
Big Fish Bait and Tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and PCH. Have all your surf fishing needs. Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474. Fish Taco Chronicle magazines and the Morning Briefing. Who does that show? I don't know. Some guy that's
Wacko.
Wacko guy. Sam, so when we look at the bite here in the last couple of days, and folks, feel free to ask any question you like. Sam has so much more knowledge regarding tackle and all of that. He'll be able to answer that. I mean, it's pretty incredible what's going on right now.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, early 90s, mid 90s, I had taken a little break from fishing, hadn't gone for a while, had come back, and it was that last El Nino. And I was on the Premier, when they had the boat up here, the 3/4 day boat. And we jumped on the boat, not really expecting too much, and I hadn't fished for a while. And I knew that there was some Dorado around, but you always think, well, maybe that was just yesterday. We went out in the channel, I mean, it was wide open. All the Dorado you wanted, all the yellowtail you wanted. I even hooked a marlin that day.
Jeez.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it just reminds me that kind of is like that right now, where
It
you can go
is.
out there, you don't know what you expect. It could be nothing. It's still fishing, but the chances of going out there and catching, wide open Dorado, which if you've never been in a wide open Dorado bite, it's pretty epic. So if you can get out there right now, I think right now is the time. That stuff's not going to last for a long, long time. That warm water doesn't last forever.
No.
It's biting right now, and if you can get out right now,
You should go.
I would go.
You should go. There's going to be a half-day boat Dorado. There already was. There
There
was
is,
a
yeah.
twilight fish
Yeah.
last night. Daniel Leano says, praise God for your work in Mexico. Sam and I are working on that. But, look, I don't know if you can see that.
Keeps coming.
See that? That is a family who flew in from Montana, huge fans of our show, who took the time to put that on a plane and pay extra and bring it to us here this evening. They're going out on the Pride. That brings a tear of joy to my eyes, really.
To think about it, yeah.
Yeah. What a great family. So thank you so very much. Ruben Lopez, La Nina versus a hurricane every time. Israel de la Cruz, great evening, guys. Hi, guys. Sam, want to commend the outstanding staff you have at your shop.
Thank you very much.
They truly are
Those
great.
guys work real hard, man. Really, really lucky.
Tony Russo, Dorado madness on the freelance today. Tony, you are so right. 83 Dorado.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, I've been in those bites before, and it's almost comical. These things jumping around, biting everything. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
They're so colorful.
Yeah.
They're acrobatic, as you said, and
they eat good.
they're great eating, man.
They eat good.
I mean, they are so good. And you're looking at Scott Buchert and his report from down below, eating the 80-pound. He said it was full freaking speed.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible
When they
fishing.
say full speed in the corner, that's exactly what that means, yeah.
Exactly. Sam, what's your ideal Dorado setup, rod and reel?
Well, ideal would be, because sometimes they don't bite that good. Give me a 25, 30-pound rod, rod and reel, 25, 30-pound live bait, 1/0 hook. So really nothing special, nothing different than you would fish yellowtail with. I will say you probably do want to have fluorocarbon. They do have teeth, a lot bigger teeth than a yellowtail would, so you do get bit off sometimes. And a lot of times they'll swallow a hook real good. And so that would be a thing. I would want to make sure you have some fluorocarbon. But like you were saying, when these things go on the bite, you could fish them on 50, 60 pound. It's not as sporting. You're not going to get the fight out of them sometimes if you do that. And when they're biting real good, you're going to have lots of opportunities. So I would say a 25 to 30 pound test. We don't really get none of those big giant bulls down here, those 30, 40 pound bulls where you would want to have like 60 pound tests or something.
Yeah,
like
right.
that. We don't get that here. But the size of fish that I've seen, 25, 30 pound test would be good. Something you can cast a bait with. Same thing you would fish yellowtail with.
And a spinning reel for a novice is
Great.
going to get a bait way out there, right?
If you're on a private boat, not so much on a party boat, but on a private boat, I know they do eat poppers and stick baits and things like that and other jigs. Obviously you always want to be careful with using any kind of lure with Dorado. When they get close to the boat, sometimes they'll jump, shake their head real bad, and that jig will come flying out. And you got pressure on it. Obviously that pressure is going to want to have the jig come back to you, and you can get hurt. So if you are going to throw lures, make sure you maybe when the fish gets close to the boat, kind of have your rod down a little bit so that if it does spit the hook,
there it goes.
It'll stay down in the water. But that's hard to do because you're pulling up trying to get the fish to fit. So, if at all possible, maybe don't use any lures, especially on a crowded boat. But if you are, be very, very careful.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, is a top shot really needed?
Well, like I was saying, not needed to get bit for sure. These things, typically when they go on the bite, they'll bite everything, but really more for getting bit off. These things do have teeth, and you'll find that as they start swallowing that bait, you get bit off. They'll get chafed off basically. So I wouldn't say for getting bit so much. In this case, it's going to be more for abrasion resistance, which I guess you could just use a little heavier mono, but it's almost the same thing, the same reason, yeah.
DJ says it's great to have Sam back on the show. I couldn't agree more. Okay, Four Doors is going to Catalina this weekend. What tackle recommendations? What's good iron colors for yellowtail? Thank you guys. Going out for albies when it's flatter up here. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, Catalina's still been kind of a little bit on the slow side, so as far as your yellowtail stuff, all the typical stuff, you're going to be your mint and white, Tatty 45, Tatty C, stuff like that, JRI 7s, JRI 1s, stuff in that kind of size as far as your surface iron. As far as I've heard, there hasn't been a huge bite on the surface iron for the yellowtail there. Bass fishing's been real good, so I would definitely take maybe a bass rod or two, something to throw bait with, something to throw plastics with. They've been eating really good. Blake from the shop was on a trip on Sunday, and he says they went and tried for some yellowtail and for some tuna, didn't really have any success, so they went into the island and did some island fishing and said the bass fishing was off the hook. So to me, I think if you're going to go on a Catalina trip and they do decide to go fish some calico bass, take something to have some fun, and those things were biting good. So
you're talking 12, 15 pounds?
Yeah.
Like
bait
that, right? You're going to
caster,
get a bite every...
Yeah. He did also comment they had a lot of anchovy. He was going out of Long Beach, I believe, and so they had a lot of anchovy in the tank, and they were using real small hooks.
Yeah.
So make sure you include some small hooks in your tackle.
All right, that sounds great. Albert Ponce is a great guy. Do you know Albert?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you do. He came out and had a drink with me. I didn't have a drink with him. I served him a drink. I'm a bartender.
Oh, okay.
Albert said, hey, there is no better place to go than island fishing tackle. Sam is the best. I love that. Oh, you know him from the trip you did at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing?
Yeah.
Is that how you guys first met?
No.
Okay, you know him from before.
Yeah.
Okay.
We run across before, yeah.
Tony Russo, he's talking about the 83 Dorado. Kai Fish Killer will circle, hook, we're good for Dorados.
Yeah, that's fine. Not necessarily needed, but definitely, because there is a limit on them, a small limit, and you can go crazy catching them. If you're going to release them, once you get to your limit, maybe change those circle hook. That way they're easily released.
DJ says, hit the like button. And I say, yeah, please hit the like button. Will you please? Sam doesn't get to go home to his wife until you hit 100 at least. So that's the way we do. Let's see. Charlie Zimmer headed out on the Intrepid for an 8-day. Jigs for Wahoo. What do you recommend?
Well, on the troll jigs, it's kind of back to the same with the Nomad, the DTX. I know they've been working really good. As far as colors from the guys coming off the trip, it seems like almost everything. They've been biting everything really, really well, but they say that most of the guys are using brighter colors, purples and pinks and things like that. So that would be on the troll. As far as on a jig, same thing, bombs, raiders. It's been really, really good fishing down there. So I don't think it's been hard to get a bite. Guys have been getting them on bait and jigs really, really well. So, be well stocked as far as your jigs, but nothing really that's been kind of a one, this is the only thing they're biting type of thing. It's been biting really good.
All right, good. Yeah, I mean, long range fishing has been excellent also, right?
Yeah, and that's been the big thing too that's been different this year, that is kind of showing some signs of things changing. Maybe up here there might be some things changing with the albacore maybe, but at Alejo's Rocks, it's been probably, I don't know, close to 10 years where we really haven't caught yellowfin there.
Yeah.
Which is rare. I mean, you would go down there and be for sure, a yellowfin spot, right? But there really hasn't been. And this year has been the first year that every trip down there has caught a good amount of, not the big ones, because even at Alejo's they've caught, 60, 80, 100-pound fish, like the Guadalupe style size fish. But they've been catching more of the rich size fish, which is like 15 to 40-pound fish, which is great because now a 7-day trip, doesn't have to make the choice between going to the Ridge or going to Alejos.
Yeah.
You can't do both on that length of trip. And usually you have to go to one to catch the tuna the last couple of years. You have to make that commitment. And the wahoo weren't always down there. So now, with the Alejos kind of providing everything, good yellowtail fishing on the dropper loop. That's been going on for the last 5-6 years. Guys catching really big ones on the dropper loop and yo-yo and some on the iron. Wahoo fishing's been good, although that can kind of get run over. We'll see how that lasts. And then the tuna's there. So it also gives a break to the wahoo because, the last 5-6 years when you go to Alejos, you'd fish yellowtail at night and pretty much chase down wahoo all day long.
Yeah.
You get 5 or 6 boats in a row and it kind of puts them down. So right now, having a variety there is great.
Ed Nesbitt says it's so important for donations. His house burned to the ground on November 7th. I didn't know that, Ed. I'm really sorry. I lost everything, even my boat. I lived off donated clothes for 3 days. It's the Lord's work. Thank you to all who donate. It's very true, right? Yeah. Especially, you help people across the border. I mean, all this stuff that comes in, people don't even know these people. They don't even, and they still go out of their way to do it, and it's really beautiful. I get to play Santa Claus. I mean, I'm just the guy that goes down there and hands it out. You guys are the ones who donate it, so we're all about that. And we're thinking maybe Cedros this year. We're not,
Yeah, I still feel like that's.
I feel like
would
it's
be a great choice. I mean,
for a couple of reasons. Why don't you explain? Because one, we want to say thank you, right?
Right. So we talked about it a little bit a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. Yeah. That typically donations would go to the needy, which is people who need it, and so and there's a lot of organizations all over the country here and in Mexico that can use donations, and so sometimes it's just the easy way to just say, well, we're going to gather a bunch of stuff and then just pick somebody out of a hat and say, okay, here you go, here's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is great because they need it. But what we were thinking about maybe and we were talking about was, the possibility of trying to give back to some of the communities in Baja specifically who have given to us, over the last 100 years of sport fishing down in Baja. I mean, there's so many communities down there that we've enjoyed and continue to enjoy and hope to continue to enjoy. And Cedros being one of the big ones, obviously, I mean, how many millions of yellowtail have been caught there over the last, 100 years?
Right.
But there's other places too, down the coast, all the way down to Cabo pretty much. And so what we were kind of talking about is if we can figure out a way to really direct our resources towards those donations going to those communities. And I would imagine that there's parts of those communities, just like anywhere else, that have people that are in need.
They definitely do.
And,
they're definitely.
And sometimes it's just the logistical maybe issues. I mean, Cedros is just a perfect situation because they have a marina. You could take a boat there, park it, stay there for a few, days, weeks, however you wanted to stay. They have hotels, they have resorts, like places where you could stay. So the infrastructure is there.
Yes.
And so that makes it easy for us to do that. And so we were thinking that would be great, but I think that would lead into other places, I mean.
Absolutely. There's so many.
So many. I don't think we can really fulfill all their needs.
Albert Ponce has a great question. He thinks it's a silly question. I think it's a wonderful question, and it is, this Mad Max thing, this nonsense where you can't get.
Yeah.
Is there anything that swims like a madman, gets bit like a madman?
Yeah. So
what is it?
The Mad Max lure is obviously a great lure. It's caught a lot of fish. And I should have brought some of the other ones here, but the Yo-Zuri Bonita, or more commonly known as a marauder, been around for a long time. And so what these are high-speed trolling lures, something that we used to catch wahoo with, traditionally. And so those have been working really well. I would bet you that some of the stuff they use on the East Coast for catching wahoo, they use those heavy trolling skirts with, those things are like almost a pound, the heads are.
Yeah.
I bet you those would work, because those, planers, stuff that works on the East Coast for high-speed trolling, I think would work really well. I was having a conversation with a customer the other day, and how far behind we are, with all this stuff, because other places in the world, these aren't new lures, they're just new to us in the way we're using them. So we always say, well, what are these things going to bite now? Well, a lot of it is we haven't come around to trying these things. So I think that's because we have bait. We have live bait. Other places don't have live bait, and we're thankful for that, obviously. But this tuna doesn't need anything. They don't eat no live bait, not from a boat, that is. So we're lucky to have found something that they want to eat. But the Marauder or the Yo-Zuri Bonita, I know that the Halco, they make a couple in the Max line, which is they have a Halco Max 190 and 220. They've been working really good too. pretty much anything that you control fast, I would say 10 knots or above is going to be what you want to have.
Perfect.
But the other part of it too is that you want something, whatever you control, whether it's that or spreader bar, is to be way back. That's the big key. And guys have caught them on cedar plugs, they've caught them on other stuff too. But the one common denominator between all these lures is this thing has to be way back behind the boat.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like back where you can barely see it. I mean, you can't even see the thing.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I heard.
200 yards back at times.
200 yards, 180 to 220.
Yeah, and some boats are different. It seems like some boats will get bit a little closer and some boats a little farther. And so you kind of have to work that out depending on the harmonics on your boat or the boat wake. You might have a big giant triple screw 80-foot boat or something like that. It might be a little different than a guy running, a single outboard or something like that. So you want to kind of play with it a little bit, but don't leave out the idea of putting that thing way back. I mean, you can't even see the thing.
Yeah. Hey, do you have the questions on your phone?
I'm kind of trying to follow them.
Can
here,
you go backwards?
And I can go back a little bit.
Yeah, because I've lost, I don't have anybody over here, so.
You gotta teach me.
I know. We're going to
yeah.
train Anthony. or yeah, I can do it, or you can read
Albert right there. I don't know where you left off there.
Yeah, okay, so Ben's United, he's going on San Diego, full day boat, Point Loma on the 22nd. Wish him the best of luck. Bill Wilkerson is watching tonight.
Oh, nice,
from the
Bill.
Malahini. Bill,
See you
can't
on the
wait to
19th.
see you. Yeah, exactly. And Bill is just an awesome guy to fish with. You'll have a really great time. Hey, good job here, Sam. Let's see. I have a Trans X 500 and use a 900 Phoenix 3030. Is that good?
3060 maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
3080. 3080 is what he meant there, yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, I think I'm caught up here.
Alrighty.
All right. I just purchased a new Pan Fathom 2 30 LD2. I've been struggling on picking on the right line setup for it. Can you advise? I plan on using it for BFT and Jurel, yellowtail.
Fill that thing up with 80 pound. It'll take about 450 yards of 80 pound braid, and you're going to attach whatever size leader you need to that. Though I would keep it simple. You could put 65 on, but it would almost have too much line more than you need. To put maybe a 60 pound leader, like something real heavy. And so maybe that's what I would do. I'd put 80 pound braid, fill it to the top, and just use a fluorocarbon leader.
Excellent. So we don't have a question for a second. So Sean Morgan, who ran, you know him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I got off bartending the other night and called him at midnight. No answer. Called him again midnight, Called him at 1 o'clock, woke him up finally. He had like a 24-hour day. So he was dead and he's like, what the F do you want?
Yeah.
I go, well, I see a hurricane heading into the Cape. He goes, I'm in America. And I just went, I caught all these fish. So he took this novice group out and he goes, the weather forecast was great. So he felt good. It was crappy weather in the morning. So he's driving the boat and he's feeling moisture and he's going like, what is this? Is it raining?
Yeah,
There's a kid vomiting
a bird
on
or
him.
something like that. Yeah.
So he's like, no. And so they hook one and they put those spreader bar, he goes, we put it so far back, because everybody told me you got to put it like
way back.
1,500,
Yeah.
he's exaggerating. But
Yeah.
He goes, I can't even see it. I snag a kelp on my Mad Mac, so I've got to stop. Meanwhile, my spreader bar is snagged on the bottom in 200 fathoms of water. He's going on and on. So they get a fish. He says the guy on board's from Canada, never caught anything over a rainbow trout, and he's literally hitting the fish with a gaff, like a baseball bat. He's like, no, you have to put the
Gaff him in.
pointy in.
Yeah.
So it was a hilarious thing, but he ended up with 6 fish to almost 200 pounds.
Jeez.
Then he came in on the beach and saw all these Dorados, saw all these yellowfin tuna, and then here today we start to see it all starting to unfold and all starting to
so
happen.
crazy.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah. I mean, even one of the other kids at the shop, he said he was up at Malaga Cove. He was getting ready to go down and do some surf fishing, and he looked out. He saw tuna from the point, from the school up there where you parked to go down to the hill. He saw tuna out there. He's like, this is crazy. He's like, if I had a drone, I could probably put a bait on it and catch a tuna off the beach, man.
Yeah, there was
It
a guy
close.
there was a guy who saw fish a month ago.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, Dan, we are doing a live show, so
I know.
calm down. Good to see you. If you want to come in and say hello.
He told me to come down.
Oh, well, what?
Shit,
Why would you
he's
do that?
one of your biggest fans.
Dan Burns, everybody. You
know-
want to come in front of the
I
camera?
want to be in the camera.
All right, Dan Burns doesn't want to be in front of the camera. Hey, another thing, you saw where Olivia Newton-John died today.
I did not.
So Olivia Newton-John died today, or yesterday. And so sorry for her family. But Do you remember when her ex-husband or boyfriend was lost at sea?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That was on the Freedom.
That was on the Freedom,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
back in 2005.
That's when all the signing in started, right? Yeah.
What's that?
We had
Yeah.
to sign in, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
He lost his license for a year.
Yeah. So I actually had the backstory. Did you know that I got the backstory on that?
Uh-uh.
So the guy was lost at sea,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so this guy calls me up who was on the boat, and he says, "Do you want to know what happened? I'm going to do I got to do a podcast."
Yeah,
on
it sounds like a
So I
story.
went
Yeah.
and met the guy, and he told me he got to take a leak at 2:00 in the morning, and the boat started slowing down, and he saw a skiff come up, and the guy jumped in the skiff.
Huh.
And I'm like, really? So I think I wrote that. In fact, I wrote that in the Daily Breeze. And then Bill O'Reilly was doing a show called The Current Affair. He was on my ass to give him that source.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the guy that gave it to me, I won't say his name, the guy that gave it to me said, I don't want to do that. So I said, I can't give it to you.
So till now.
Everybody was on. I saw him giving the name. So and so I tried to find that article today and I couldn't find it. I was in China teaching kids, and I said to Julia, who was one of my best students, hey, she asked about Olivia Newton-John. I go, she found the article in 30 seconds, which, of superior intelligence over me. But
how could she?
Yeah, really. But, I mean, that's another story that we'll have to get into. Maybe I'll
That's
do
pretty
do a
big,
little.
right there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. All right.
Can I jump on that story real quick?
Sure. Well, no one's going to be able to hear you over there, so you're going to have to come over here and speak in this, or you
The
can't
mics,
jump on
yeah.
it. If you want to say something real quick, I'll tell everybody. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. Come over here. You got to talk here.
All right, real quick.
No kissing.
That story, I felt bad for Tommy Lee because he closed out his tab. He closed out everything and left everything on the right. He walked off, Olivia Newton-John's boyfriend, and went to Mexico.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Right.
And-
they found him in Todos
And
Santos.
Tommy Lee, which me and Tommy don't get along.
We're going to start a fight here.
No. I felt for him.
Yeah.
He ended up losing his license for a year
Yeah.
because he was responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Tommy's fault.
Yeah.
He closed out his gallery tab right outside the harbor.
Yeah.
And he walked off, left the whole stuff, and went to Mexico.
Oh, okay.
True story.
All right. There you go. So different.
Is that your source?
No. No. I had a credible source. I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. I was involved in that.
That was a crazy story, though. I mean,
yeah.
it changed
It
sport
was
fishing.
unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you leave Olivia and John?
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, Sam. Here you're going to Cedros. Tells your goal. What's your goals for the trip? Probably to have a good time and catch lots of yellowtail, right?
Yeah. So I was telling these guys, and it's kind of a joke here, but I told them I wanted to catch 100 yellowtail on the surface. That's what I wanted to do.
Are you going to try to do that?
I don't know. I mean,
You probably can do it.
Probably can, but I would say that the whole thing is, the guys are telling me, well, you go down there and you troll these rapalas. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Well, you slow troll these no, I don't want to do that. Straight surface iron. That's what I want to do. Maybe do an afternoon of bass fishing or something like that, because bass fishing is fun.
It's good down
But
there,
yellowtail
too.
fishing is my most favorite thing to do, and I know that when I leave, I'm gonna feel like, man, I could have caught another 4 or 5 yellowtail. I wouldn't have bothered me at all. So I'm gonna try to catch as many yellowtail as possible.
All right. Well, we'll be
that's my
keeping a
goal.
tally. When are you
Yeah.
going?
This is early September. I actually forget the exact date, but right around the 10th or so.
Oh, well, you can do some groundwork for our thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
While you're there.
Yeah, we'll talk to Diego and see who I need to talk to down there. Maybe, it's be a good time for that.
Yeah, perfect. Steve and Steven, it's good to see you, my friend. What are you guys' thoughts on the striped marlin that have been caught this past week on sport boats? New Loan, Thunderbird got one, I think, today. Keep or release? What's your
Keep 'em.
opinion?
Hey, there's no shortage of striped marlin. I will tell you that, 100%. You go down to Mexico, fish some of these trips. I mean, you can't get away from them. It's worse than sea lions sometimes. But I will say it's a majestic fish. I mean, it's a beautiful fish, and some people feel like it's something
Well,
that
so
should
is
be
a
protected.
Dorado, though, right?
Yeah, but a marlin's a pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't really have. I mean, I've been down there long enough times that there's millions of them. I
Yeah.
mean, what was it?
Me
Just
too.
a couple years ago. I can't remember the name of the boat right now, but they went down there and they did like a record.
Yeah.
However many.
Oh, right. Yeah,
you
I know.
A
Yeah.
couple hundred, and they caught it in a day or
Yeah,
something like that.
Exactly.
I mean,
hey, I'm going to throw you two out of here
but
in 2 seconds.
yeah, to me, I wouldn't say it would be cool to keep 100 of them on a trip, but I don't think you're ever going to hook that many or land that many. So
Yeah.
if they catch
They're good eating
If
too.
they
Have you
catch a
eaten
couple,
one?
yeah, if they catch a couple dozen in a year, that's not going to be. They're never going to catch that many, and they might keep 6 or 7 the whole year. I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah, and I think
personally.
it's just evidence of this warm water flow we
Yeah,
got going on,
yeah,
right? All
yeah.
this warm water fish coming up this
Yeah.
way. Yeah, they're great eating fish.
Number one, if they're going to consume it,
Yeah.
it's cool. If they're going to bring it home and throw it in the trash, well, that's not cool.
That goes
So,
with any fish.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because the things are huge. And you're going to bring back a lot of fish. So just plan on being able to distribute it or use it, because it's a good eating fish.
And
too.
the other funny thing that you mentioned is it's a majestic, beautiful fish.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there's
It is.
never, you know what? There's never a campaign though for like, it's always let's save the fur seal because
Yeah.
they're cute
Oh,
and
right,
they're cuddly
right.
and they're beautiful. I never see one about let's save the black widow,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I mean, and they may be in trouble, but
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know, it's always the cute and cuddly
Yeah.
or the majestic and beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. If you want to keep them. There's no problem with that.
Hope not.
Hey, I got to mention also, September 10th we'll be at Bass Pro Shops. So anybody wants to come by, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're doing a live, or I don't know if it's live, but we're doing a podcast at Bass Pro Shops, and we would definitely like to see you there. Hooyah, I made it to a live show with my favorite Friedman Adventures guest, Sam the Man. Thank you so much, Turbo T2. Hector Cordero, Sam and Phil, what's your favorite way to cook yellowtail?
So I'm not the best at cooks, I'll tell you that right now. But an easy way, that someone taught me a long time ago, using the whole kind of like steaming deal where you wrap it in foil,
Yeah.
just a little bit of butter and garlic salt. That's probably been the most easiest way. A little bit of lemon. Easiest way, and actually probably the best tasting way that I've had it. A little bit of side of rice or some vegetables or something like that. But to me, almost any fish is probably the best, easiest way to cook. And you don't need to have an oven. You can put it on a stovetop. It'll cook anywhere, and it doesn't dry out.
All right, so I agree with that. I'm going to tell you something, and these guys are going to run out of here, and you're going to run out of here. This guy, Fred Fadley, comes up to me one day. I got all this yellowtail, and I'm ready to put it out on the grill. And he goes, let me microwave a piece of that for you. And I go, don't even freaking think about it.
Stick the whole
And he
house
goes,
up.
no, I'm telling you, will you let me? And I go, dude, don't do that to my fresh yellowtail. So he takes some, I go ahead,
Yeah.
take some olive oil, garlic, oregano, salt, pepper, puts it in. He goes, the trick is don't overcook it. Puts it in, pulls it out. It's still a little raw, puts it in. Freaking delicious. Perfectly cooked. I've done it now a million times. It's so, I know you don't believe it, right? I didn't believe it
Probably
either.
stink up the
I'm
microwave.
I don't know if it may stink it up. I didn't have that. It is perfectly, like it's steamed, like it's cooked. Hector, the key is, and all of you people who are out there, you're going to say
Don't
the same
overcook
thing
it.
I said. How can you do that
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a beautiful, fresh piece of fish? He showed me, man, and it was so freaking good that it was unbelievably
That's got to be pretty
delicious.
similar to the foil, because it keeps all the moisture in.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think a lot of times when people put it on the pan or on the grill, it dries out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it's doing. I don't know.
I don't know. It was good, and I've repeated it many times, and
There you go.
it comes out good. Albert says, "Hey guys, I got invited to go on the Baja circuit. Next tournament date is on the 27th in San Quintin. First question: have you guys ever fished there? And if so, recommended tackle."
The 27th.
27th of this month. It's going to
Yeah.
be.
I've never
it's gonna
heard.
be Dorado,
I don't know what the
yellowtail.
Baja circuit is. I mean, I don't know.
I
If
think
they're-
I know what it is.
Is it certain species or?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know
Yeah.
about the rules.
So I
Yeah.
mean, I would probably take whatever species specific things is. So maybe he can chime in on that. If it's a specific species, I could probably recommend something. Otherwise, you kind of take it. There's a lot of good rock cotton over there, and the yellowtail fish is really good. Sometimes white sea bass earlier in the season, but I would think it'd be mostly yellowtail and rock cod. But it might be.
It should be offshore stuff too.
I don't
right?
know. I'm not sure. I've never heard of that circuit, so I couldn't.
I'm pretty sure they're biggest fish. So
Anything, right?
Looking for bluefin or
Yeah, I don't know if there's any more bluefin down there.
maybe not bluefin,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
would think yellowfin for sure.
Maybe yellow. I think a big yellowtail,
Dorado
maybe.
for sure. Big yellowtail.
Yeah.
all that stuff should be in there. Chris from Tucson, Arizona. Chris, welcome to the show. My son and I have a 24-hour trip on the El Capitan, both limits of yellowtail and 2 yellowfin, 1 Dorado. Had a wonderful time
Nice.
on the El Capitan. Who runs
Nice.
the El Capitan?
Alan Fay.
Yeah, thank
okay,
you,
yeah.
Dan Burns. Now I'm happy Dan is here. Dan, I forgive you. How much?
$100.
Only 100? Jeez, that's cheap,
We
man.
go back. We go back.
Sniper Gene, eat the yellowtail raw
Yeah,
sashimi.
yeah.
Can't beat that.
No.
Yeah, that's for sure. Cryptocurrency. Hey, Phil, I just checked in late. Did you say you're going to be at Bass Pro Shop? I did say that, didn't I?
did say that, yeah.
September 10th.
September
at
10th.
1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Rancho
And
or Rancho?
Rancho
Yeah.
Cucamonga will be there. So that, yeah, it is. Well, not if you live in Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah.
It's not a long drive. Somebody yelling my name out there? Yeah. Who is it?
Hook up, throw a dipper.
Oh, who is it? Oh my
No,
God.
they're not yelling.
We're in trouble. 23 likes. You still need more likes.
Oh man, we're a long ways away.
Gary Kwan, do you know that guy?
Yeah, he's a good
Taddy
guy.
Lures. He's a great guy. I can't believe my voice is holding up. I'm not going to be able to
getting
do
better
the
even.
morning. Yeah, it is. Gary says, Sam, broil those yellowtail collars, drizzle some popular sauce, and enjoy. It's the most tender and flavorful part.
Those collars are good.
Throw away every day.
I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
I never really got into the collars until the long range thing, you know.
Moon takes them all.
He'll take them for sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
give him a moon.
He'll trade you. But yeah, I mean, I never got into the collars until he started doing long range fishing. And one of the times I was getting your fish clean, you know, processed, they're like, "Do you want the collars?" I'm like, "I heard about them, but I might as well. It was already free." Brought them. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're a little bit,
It's a lot more work.
little more work, but they are pretty good.
Mark, Sam, blank rod versus a prefabricated rod. Is there any real difference having your own rod built?
Yeah.
Moon wants you to say yes.
Yeah, of course there is. You know, look, so
100%.
it depends on what you're looking for. You know, I mean, there are going to be some times where some manufacturers make a rod that maybe it's exactly how you want it, you know. But I would say by and large, you know, it's a more complicated question, you know. I think if you're just getting started, you might find it hard to get a rod made because you're not sure what you want. So you might start off with some prefabricated rods. But in the end, especially the higher end manufacturers are not always going to offer every single blank in a rod. So if you're only looking at prefabricated rods, you're not going to find all the different rods available out there. You know, everything from UC is not made into a rod. I mean, Rain Shadow. I mean, CalStar, you can't get stuff all the time. You know, even Phoenix, you know, there's going to be some things that maybe they make it one way, but maybe you want a spinning rod. So they're not going to have it that way. Or maybe it's another rod that they use for a freshwater rod that you want to use for a rod inside the bay or something like that. So, you know, if you're going to make the same rod with the same components and the same colors, then no, it's no different. But that's the whole reason you make a custom rod, is that you can make some adjustments on the reel seat, the position of the reel seat, maybe the type of guides you're going to use, you know, that kind of stuff. The reel seat position is a really big deal in the sense that, especially when you get into longer rods, is your leverage to cast. The taller you are, the longer your arms are, you're going to want to have the reel seat position a little higher.
Right.
You know, and so things like that are going to be the reason you want a custom rod. So yeah, there are some times where maybe not as much, but I would think there's a lot of times where it does.
Ricardo Villa, with the kelps being so loaded, are boats even looking for bluefin tuna?
Yes.
A lot of them are focusing on those
Yeah.
kelps and then going for
Oh.
the bluefin. They're trying to get something in the bank.
Well, that Dorado limit's so low.
You know,
I mean,
somebody asked what the Dorado limit was.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
In
potentially,
what is it up here?
It's 10 here.
Oh, it is 10?
but potentially you can catch your limit with those Dorado. You can catch your limit in an hour
Yeah, right.
or less.
Yeah.
So they're not doing that. They're not just going to keep catching fish if you can't keep them anymore.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's a guy, Ernie, who's on the Amigo tonight. He's the charter master, super good guy. He asked me, he heard you were coming in. He said, is Sam as nice a guy in person as he is on the videos? And I said, no, not really. No, yeah, it's fake, all fake. No, yeah, I told him you were.
You know how
right.
nice I am?
Yeah.
Dan Burns is here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
well,
you
that
know.
makes me wonder. Yeah, that scares the hell out of me. What are you doing tonight? Are you going on a boat?
I got the golf course. Kim C.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
We got a studio audience. Okay. Don Emilio Escobar. Greetings from Ensenada. We're watching you guys as always. What a great, hey, thank you so much, Don Emilio.
There you go.
Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros, ¿verdad?
Igualmente.
Good. Okay, muy bien. Let's see. Israel, 2 ponga boats in Ensenada have caught marlin in the past couple of weeks. That's very true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that marlin is starting to move up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some years we catch a lot of them, and some years we don't. I mean, it's kind of early. Usually that stuff will bite right into like October. up here. So we'll see what that brings. You know, these tournaments, these local tournaments coming through. Those guys, I'm sure, want that fish, you know, to be a little bit better. I know some of the marlin clubs have had to switch to fishing for bluefin the last couple of years because there hasn't been enough marlin.
Yeah, right.
You know, so I'm pretty sure they're
gonna
rather
be happy
catch.
this year.
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
Do you
yeah.
I like fishing marlin. A lot of people say, marlin. I like it.
I've never got into it in
Yeah.
the traditional style
Yeah.
trolling, but I know that the guys who do it are super passionate about it,
Right.
and they really enjoy it. It's kind of a hunting thing, you know, with finding them and stuff like that, because you don't find them in big schools like like you would yellowtail or tuna.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're hunting down singular 2 or 3 fish, and so it's a little bit different deal. And the guys that are good at it, you know, they win every year. They're you know, there's not really a lot of luck. These guys know what they're doing. So yeah, so there's
Yeah,
a lot
there
of
you go.
skill involved, and so it's a kind of fish in which these clubs can really kind of excel and show how good they are at something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Kai
yeah.
Fish Killer, same for me. 6 through the 11th. I think he's going to Cedros. My friend cooked yellowtail collars at Cedros Barbecue. Was awesome. Turbo T2. Wow, we have passed one another. Blah 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 blah. Cedros. Yeah, okay. They're talking about Cedros being an amazing place. Gary Kwan, Sam broiled those yellowtail. Didn't we get that already?
We got that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
And Charles Zimmer, Phoenix Megalodon rods in stock ?
So probably the one he's looking for is the 609, which is their heaviest 6-footer for the jig fishing. And I think this morning I checked for a guy. We had 2 in stock, but I know there was a guy looking at one today. So I have 1 or 2 in stock of those right there. Yeah. Of that same style of rod, I know Moon dropped one off the other day, custom rod, a very similar rod. Also, too, if you want to get one made, we do have some of the UC Zeus blanks in stock, which have been very, very popular. And as far as other blanks, I know I got some of the stuff from Rain Shadow in. I got some of the stuff from American Tackle in. And so as far as blanks, we got quite a bit, but that rod specifically in the built factory rod, something that you can take home tomorrow to fish these tuna would be those Megalodon 609, and then Moon dropped off a rod, which I believe was a Rain Shadow blank. It's all ready to go. So that's what you would have available right away.
Sean Morgan was like questioning whether he needed all this new gear. He goes, "Is this just all BS or what? I went out and spent thousands of dollars on all this new gear. You can't convince me bluefin don't bite the same way they used to when I used to fish them."
They don't.
You don't think so?
No.
You really do think it's evolved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Make the case.
yeah.
Tell Morgan.
So, I mean, guys have been trying to fish them on the kite, which has been like pretty much the way to get them. It's just starting to kind of catch on again this year, but early on it wasn't working. It really, really wasn't. You know, as far as fishing a live bait for them, I mean, I'm not, you know, I've only done a few trips this year, but being at the shop and guys looking at 8 million tuna and not hooking one, I mean, 2 or 3 day trips with guys fishing live bait, not hooking one, 2 or 3 days for the whole boat. So unless he's got some other way of hooking them, I don't know what he's really means
Well,
by
he
it.
caught them all on the sweater bar, which is new.
Well,
and
that's
he put
on
it
you.
500
Yeah.
miles behind him. So
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
fishing the new way.
So yeah. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that, but I would imagine he means fly lining a bait. But
Or
but
like trolling like an albacore style feather or something
Yeah,
like that. They're
and
not biting that way.
I bet you they might bite it way back. So
Oh, that's true.
the whole thing is putting it way back.
that might be the thing.
So yeah, so they might bite that, but for sure they're biting these other lures. For sure they're biting the spreader bar. So you know, why fight it?
What
you
if
know?
that is the thing? Yeah, he did say that he trolled the spreader bar and got bit, and then he went and did it again and didn't get bit, and didn't get bit, and didn't get bit, and then he goes, "Wait a minute, what did I do?" Then he goes, "I figured it out." And then I got 5 fish in a row, and I go, "What is it?" And he goes, "I can't tell you that." You know, I almost said a bad word there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know what he did different, but I don't. Roland says hamachi kama. Hamachi is Japanese for yellowtail, right?
Yeah.
Kama is what?
No.
I don't know. You got me on that one. Good evening, gentlemen. Good to see you, aka the Sack. Albert Ponce's best way to cook whole yellowtail is zarandeado style. I love it. I haven't seen Aloha. Albert's right. It's
I haven't
so
had
good.
it in the yellowtail like
my
that,
God.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's
Sure
the
it is.
presentation is just beyond just that fish with all those different, all the stuff on it. So good.
Yeah, like family style type.
Yeah, exactly. Charles Zimmer, I bought a Zeus 4 And it works great.
Yeah, that's UC's probably most popular jigging blank. I know I ordered a bunch of them a few weeks ago. I know I still got 3 or 4 in stock. But as far as for a custom rod, that's probably the most popular custom rod in that jigging category was the Zeus 4.
That really is a good one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Which landing will get the first Wahoo this season? Positive thoughts, boys.
Yeah, that might be even harder than the albacore. I think he's probably talking about a local. Yeah, he might be talking about a local Wahoo.
Yeah, he is.
So
he
I
is,
don't know.
definitely.
Yeah,
I'll go with Dana Wharf Sport Fishing.
Well, if
They've been
anything,
all over the Dorado.
if anything, I would say the guys from Ensenada trolling these Mad Max lures
Yeah, right.
will probably be the. If those guys get one, then you can kind of say, okay, we might have a chance at them. But I don't know. The Wahoo logo. I mean, we had that once in our lives. I don't know if it's ever going to happen again.
Yeah, well, nobody can hear you is the problem. So you got to come over to the mic, or just
tell us.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
When the Japanese nuclear thing
When the Japanese
Yeah.
nuclear thing,
pushed the Wahoo here.
that pushed the Wahoo.
It could
here.
have. It was around that time, yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy had 5 a day.
All right.
When they were biting good.
We
for
need
sure.
another nuclear meltdown.
Yeah,
right?
let us know when that's coming along.
That's my philosophy.
Okay.
Is that the only way to get them?
That's as freaking wild of one as I've heard.
Came
Yeah.
from Hawaii.
Yeah, it could have.
They pushed them.
You're agreeing with us?
It could have. I don't know where they came from. I mean,
I have a fact.
All right, there's a fact.
I have pictures.
he did a study on it. He was
Yeah,
saying, yeah.
yeah. Okay, very good. I don't know what to say to that. No, it's good stuff. It's actually adding. No, Dan, I love it. Actually, I do.
It's your fact.
Marco Farrell, comma is grilled collars, delicious.
Okay.
Marco, thank you. Jeff Yeomans, have you guys heard if Daiwa Sakana type lures have been working on the Calpatti Yellows?
Oh, yeah.
I've
sure
heard
they will.
yes.
Yeah.
Really well. Working good. Israel De La Cruz just threw us $10.
Oh, wow.
Israel, thank you so much. Let's give Sam some more likes. That's right. See, if we don't get many likes, I blame it on you. If we get a whole bunch, it's Friedman Adventures.
How many likes is $10 worth?
At least we need 100 here. Okay, yeah, and then AKA Amachi Kama's Yellowtail Collar. Wahoo in 2010 or 2011, question mark. When was
No,
it?
it was 2014.
Was it?
Yeah. I believe 2014. The Wahoo, when we got the Wahoo, 2014. Because I know it's a year where I opened the shop.
Yeah,
And that was 8 years ago, yeah.
10,
Yeah.
10,
So Brandon wants to know, Sam, do you think the albacore will show up? He's trying to save my butt at this point. Dan Burns is laughing out loud. And that's an appropriate laugh at this point. I mean, we got Dorado. We're talking about now Wahoo. And there's not a friggin' albacore in its right mind that's going to be in that hot water. So I've blown another one, it looks like.
Yeah.
Unless that water stays cold offshore. But who the hell is going to go out there?
No.
I mean, you got all this
fish
stuff
right here. Yeah.
inside right now. So
$7 a gallon.
it's like, that was a lost one, I got to say. What do I have to do this year to make up for this
Wahoo then?
horrible albacore prediction?
You're so far
Do I
behind.
need to jump out?
Cut and run, yeah.
Dan says, just predict it every
Yeah.
year. One of these years, you're going to hit it. Scott Grant. Oh, Scott Grant wants to know 5.5 months for rockfish in 2023. Put a petition for submission to California Fishing Game.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Yeah.
So what have you
For
heard?
sure.
What have you heard? I'll tell you what I've heard. You want me to tell you?
Well, tell me what you probably heard more than I have.
So I've just got a behind the scenes thing. They told me, don't go crazy on this yet. Just there's some negotiating going on, and we don't want to get anybody angry with anybody accusing anybody of anything. Just stay calm for a while.
Yeah.
So, and the two parties that told me that, I highly respect, and they have the best interests of sport fishing. But let's just talk hypothetically. If that were to happen, that would not be a good thing.
No, I did talk to one captain, and he did say that from what he understood, and maybe, I haven't really read it in detail, but that it seemed like some of the stuff that was being talked about is something that may affect the northern landings more, stuff up north, Morro Bay and places like that.
Channel Islands?
Maybe more
Maybe
north
not,
of that.
because,
Maybe
yeah.
north of that, yeah. And so either way, I think we have to look at it as, if it happens one place in California, because it's the same legislature and the same, body that controls, north and south.
Yeah.
You got to feel that it kind of sets it up for potential things happening in all of California. So even though immediately it may not affect us, I think, like you're saying, with these negotiations, we kind of have to keep tabs on it.
Yeah.
And organizations like CCA or whoever is going to be doing that for us, hopefully. So.
Yeah, and you got to place your trust in guys like Wayne and
exactly.
Sack and guys like that who really know.
And they did a lot for us already. I know that for a while there was going to be no bluefin allowed.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
those guys, even though now it's only 2, but you get a 200-pound fish, it's pretty good. But at the time, it would have been 0. Imagine now if we would have had 0 take on bluefin. That's almost worse than the rod cod.
Yeah, exactly. It would have decimated this whole fleet. Yeah, no question. Brian Yoshida, what's up, Sam? I need my last blank. It's the MCR 950.
Yep.
What's he doing? He's got one on order with you?
Well, I don't know which part is funnier. That's the Moon's rod, the new black.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll get one by the end of the year. But the other part, his last blank, he said that about 10 blanks ago. So.
Yeah.
So he's become probably one of UC's best customers.
Yeah.
He's changed all his CalStars pretty much to all UC, and I'm sure he's bought at least 15 from us to get stocked up.
Yeah.
And the reason he's into them is, I think once you get on fishing with a UC rod, and if you like it, you almost can't fish with nothing else. And so he's one of those guys that caught a couple of them, had them wrapped up because we suggested, hey, you might want to try this out.
Yeah.
He went out on a trip, and he's like, man, these things are nice. And before he knew it, he's like, give me another one, give me another one.
Wow.
He's got a whole quiver of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when he says his last one, I'm pretty sure it's not his last one.
After tonight with Dan Burns out here and Anthony, I am going to frickin' next week have a microphone for the audience. Because these guys have some funny stuff.
Yeah.
But we can't hear them.
I was talking
it'd be great.
I was talking to Randy, though, yesterday about trying to get him on here. He's resisting.
Randy will not talk.
He's resisting, but we'll figure something
No,
out.
he talked to me all day on the way down.
Oh,
He
okay.
won't be on the mic.
Nobody can hear you, so.
That's okay, but I'm telling you. So he won't.
What I might do is say, if you don't come on, Dan will.
Oh, we want. Yeah, will you come on and represent him?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
that'll be the reason he'll come on.
We'll put a microphone on you this time so people can hear you. Hey, Ed Nesbitt says, that's the secret to trolling. Get it back past the wake, and if possible, out of the prop turbulence. I've trolled for years. My preferred lure is daisy chain cedar plug.
Yeah.
It works when you drop it way back.
Way back,
I've gotten bit, though, right in the frickin' there, on albacore at least.
Right.
Those fish that like to move in with the wahoo and the dorado and everything. Yeah. Brandon says, no, you and Red are going to jump in. No. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm going to. Red said 300 pounds. Yeah, he's right. There has to be a 300-pound bluefin tuna taken this year, or Mike Morrison, the manager of this place, is going to jump in. And he said, I said the same thing. I guess Morrison and I guess we both have to jump in.
Jump in
right. Oh, we're the freaking harbor here.
That's it?
Yeah, that's not. What do you want?
He's making it sound like a big
Dan.
deal.
Phil, my buddy had 320 already.
All right, there's a
You guys are
320,
jumping
so
in.
Mike doesn't have to jump in. And I don't know if I told you, my son Philip caught an albacore surf fishing yesterday.
Oh, yeah, so you
I
don't
don't
have to jump in.
I'm out of it.
Clear.
Yeah. Phil, my good fishing buddy, told me he's been listening to you since the 80s. Is that true?
60s,
Yeah.
I think, 60s.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah, and there's psychological help for people who've been listening to me for that long. Yeah, he's going to go through it. Brian Yoshida, really, it's my last blank. Really. Damon says, good job, Sam.
Yeah. I want to talk about Damon, too, a little bit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so great customer. He's working on a new jig, actually.
Is that the one you brought down?
Yeah. I was showing some of the guys.
I was too late. I was going to come out, but I got all screwed up doing some stuff up
It's
here.
a pretty cool jig, actually. I mean, it's got a few features that I'm kind of really happy about, and some features that I'm like, I feel like I had to figure out the jig a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a heavy surface iron, which is kind of an oxymoron, but it's heavy. When you cast it, you feel the weight. But it's so heavy, you would think you would have to wind it real fast to make it swim, but it's the opposite. You got to wind it real slow. So the slower you wind it, the better, which is normal for a surface iron. But the weight on it is so heavy. I mean, I could see casting that thing into the wind. I'm going to take a few Decedros, which is great because you do a lot of running gunning.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good jig for that for sure. And I think this tuna would be really good for
Is
that.
are those on the market now?
He's kind of still working them out. Kind of a prototype. I know he got a bunch of them in today. He was showing them to me, and it looked great. It's a different style of jig. It's
What's the name of it?
Well, right now, I don't know if he's worked out the name, so I don't want to say.
Yeah.
But I know this jig in particular says dealer on the back, so it's like a car dealer.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if they're going to have different names or things like that yet, but it's a good jig. I think if it was available now and I was going fishing and there was some of this,
Yo-yo jig, or what is it?
it's almost as heavy as a yo-yo jig, but it's not. It's a surface iron.
Like a Pep 3 heavy?
So nobody can hear
it's
his
larger.
question.
It's a larger.
Dan, nobody can hear you.
Yes, they already told me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
all right.
it's a larger. Actually, I have it right here. I'll bring it out here.
All right.
The Pep 3 heavy?
No.
Can you guys hear Dan Burns when he's talking? If you can, then I'll.
I have a loud voice.
All right, go ahead.
So I mean, it's
Oh, it's that big.
yeah. It's a bigger. It's not a small
brass?
jig.
Is it
No,
brass?
no, it's not.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I
Yeah,
like the weight,
it's-
actually. You
I
can
mean,
throw
if
that
you
a
feel the weight
mile.
here. It's crazy. It's
All right, hold on, coming in. How much you? Wow, it's different.
yeah. It's that's the first thing when I saw it. I'm like, wow, this is really different. So I didn't know what to make of
It's
it.
Offset, little offset.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's fish.
Hey, these
Yeah.
guys can totally hear Dan. All right, good. All right, why don't you just move? Why don't you move your chair up a little closer?
I don't have a chair.
What the hell are you sitting in over there?
That's fake news.
I don't have a chair.
So it's about as heavy as a 6'6"
All right,
junior,
you want me
probably.
to get in there?
No, just sit right there.
No, you're
You're
good,
fine.
you're good. Just
No,
like-
don't
so
hit
we can hear you.
anything. Calm down. There's no more nuclear things going on in Japan.
Trump
No
got
wahoo
raided.
this
Trump
year.
got raided yesterday.
Trump got raided. I got raided by the FBI yesterday. They were looking for old bloopers in my files.
It's very fishable.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
good.
I've been fishing iron. Rick Ofinger and Jerry Durbin taught me.
Rick Evinger from Marina
Yeah.
Del Rey Sport Fishing. Yes.
No, City Redondo.
City Redondo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my captain and so and Jerry Durbin.
All right, perfect. Let me go to another question here. Good stuff. Let's see. No, you're doing good. Sniper Gene. I like this. It's crazy.
That's how we learned, right?
I like this. Sam, how different do UC's work compared to Seeker and CalStar?
We can't go there.
So okay, so these
Well,
are,
he's going to go there.
yeah, these are different style of rods. I mean, at the end of the day, they're CalStars are #1 great rods. They've been around the longest of anybody as far as a rod manufacturer in Southern California. You buy a CalStar rod, it's a quality rod, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
UC rods are more of a, what you would call, I would say, I don't know if it's the right wording, that's why we need Randy on here, but it's a newer style of blank. It's smaller diameter, it's lighter weight, different materials. It's a blank that for today's smaller, lighter reels that have big drags, it just fits them really well. So that's really kind of at the root of what it is.
Yeah.
Is it matches the modern gear. Is it the best rod? I mean, we don't want to get into that. It's everyone's judgment as to what they like better or worse. But I will say that as far as matching what today's modern gear is, it probably matches it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different
You're
blank.
a big fan of those blanks.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Well,
you're trying to walk a line here. I
no,
understand.
What I like about them is that it offers a different style of product. I mean,
Yeah.
in all kinds of products, whether it's reels, jigs, your line, your fluorocarbon, a lot of it is so similar that you can only say it's better or worse based on maybe that you just had
Personal
a good experience
preference,
with
or-
it.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you went out, you caught a big fish on it, you're like, oh, I love this rod. It's the best rod ever.
Yeah.
Because you had a good experience with it, which is fine. With this rod, it's a different style of rod. And for some people, they like it a lot. They're like, man, this is the best. And some people don't because they're into more of the old school style rods.
Yeah.
And so I would guarantee that these guys probably don't like them as much.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a...
Is it like anything else? Like eating a piece of meat? Some people like it, some people
Yeah,
don't, or going to a movie?
It's
or-
probably more like driving an old car and a new car.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with a 69
Some
Camaro.
people are
It's
set in
awesome.
their ways and they
Yeah.
like that old car.
And that's not a negative.
Right.
They work just as fine. But you get a brand new, Audi or something like that. It's state of the art.
Right.
So you don't want to compare the two in that way. They're both great for different reasons.
Fishing Fiend says, I can totally hear Dan. And then he comes right back and screws you and says, cut him off the booze quick. So he must know you pretty well.
Albert.
Hey, Isaac, just throw us $10. Sam,
There you go.
10
We're
big
doing it,
ones.
man. Another 10
I'll
legs.
give you 100.
Throw it in there, yeah.
Throwing dippers.
Kai Fish Killer. Yeah, I threw the Kaivo 7X at Cedros and got over 20 yellows. Weighted that one. And it was 3.78 ounces. Yeah, I feel heavier the surface iron, the better, longer casts that you're going to get.
Yeah. I mean, like especially running gun fishing, if you're still moving, coming up on fish, you basically have the wind coming at you. So having a jig that's real light that swims real good, you're like, well, you might want that, but it's actually harder to cast. It's gonna just stop in the wind. So heavier jigs like a 7X, that's kind of
7X is a badass.
that's where they perform. It's a great jig, a lot of different situations, but when you're going into the wind and moving forward, it can't hardly beat a 7X. So
Yeah, right.
This is it seems heavier than a 7X.
It does.
Oh,
almost.
that feels great.
So-
It does, doesn't it? I like that.
So
Feels
to
great.
me,
Remember when you're fishing down in Mexico versus fishing Rocky Point?
it's a little different.
conditions.
Yeah. So to me, I think that's going to work good. I think for the tuna would work really good.
Yeah.
And just for someone who just wants a little more distance, it'd probably work really good. The only downside, I would say, possible downside, is you're probably going to need a little stiffer rod.
Let me borrow that tomorrow night.
Yeah, sure. You can have it. Yeah.
Dan's wife tells him that all the time. I'm just kidding. Tony Russo, CalStar Brown still looks like my old Truline D8.
Yeah. That's another thing, too. I mean, CalStar still has the honey color glass,
Yeah.
which if you're into old school, nice, cool looking stuff, I mean, there's nothing else like it.
Jason Lawler, you know Jason
Yeah.
from Shobes in Long Beach. He's on the El Dorado right
Oh,
now.
nice,
So we
nice.
send you all our best.
Getting out.
Hope you catch some fish.
That's
TJ
great.
asked me to come out tonight. I said, okay, I'm okay.
All right. Yeah, they're light. Question, Sam. I think I asked you this before, but for coastal fishing, do you sell a lot of them glass CalStar rods? Do you still have popularity in Proly? The better question. You get that?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's
Probably
probably
the
better.
better question. Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's still a core group of guys who like them better.
Yeah.
But by and large, most guys are buying the newer stuff,
Yeah.
the graphite stuff, and so, graphite is a material that, in the early years, I mean, when I was coming up, was kind of like a taboo. You didn't want to use graphite; it would break and things like that.
Right.
It would come a long way. These guys have really figured out what types of graphite to use, and you just don't have the breakage that you did 30 years ago. So most guys today, because of also, like I was saying earlier, these blanks fit the reel so good that the UC rod has really come in a lot more. So yeah, there's still some fans of it, but I wouldn't say we sell a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's certain blanks, especially for throwing iron, that guys prefer. That CalStar 90J, 100J, things like that are always going to be probably one of the best things you can ever buy.
Yeah.
And guys are big fans of them. The 540, I got in like 5 or 6 of those here about a week and a half ago. They were gone in a day. So certain blanks, yeah, there's a lot of fan favorites, but I would say I don't think there's really a whole lot of guys that have all glass rods. Very few guys that would say that, but almost everybody has a couple.
I want to calm everybody down in the audience that was not an earthquake when the camera was shaking. That was Dan Burns
Leaving.
getting up and hitting, right? I guess, right, Anthony? Yeah, Anthony's back there laughing his ass off. So, yeah, what a show tonight.
Yeah, man.
I'm so happy you invited Dan down. Oh, my God. It actually is pretty funny, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let's see. Gabriel de la Trinidad, what is the best rod for a Daiwa Sea Line 20 SH? I never thought my voice would make it. We made an hour so far.
So, okay, Sea Line 20 SH, depending on the application. I think if you're going to throw a live bait, the guy was just talking about a glass rod, maybe a CalStar 220, something like that, 278H, 278. If he's going to use it for a rock caught rig, I'd probably go with maybe like a graphite rod, like a Daiwa Proteus or Shimano Terramore, something like that. So depending on the application, I would guide him towards that rod based on what he's going to do with it. But
Yeah.
a 20 SH is kind of known for having a lightweight spool. A lot of guys use it for throwing live bait. So you're probably going to want to have something that has somewhat of a light tip.
Kai Fish Killer, I am sold on UC. My favorite jig stick now is the Delmar 1000.
Yeah, good one. Yeah. They make quite a few good jig sticks. In the beginning, they really only had a couple that guys used for jig sticks. I wasn't a huge fan of early on of some of the stuff that they had, but man, now they've got such a good variety of stuff that for throwing iron, they have quite a few good ones.
Israel De La Cruz says he'll buy Dan a White Claw if he sits closer to the mic. I'll buy him a case if he sits further away, Israel. We got a competing thing going on here.
Yeah.
Do you think I want him next to me the rest of the show? Richie Rich, thank you guys for what you do. We really appreciate it. Sam, you're one of our favorite guests, and unfortunately,
Appreciate it.
during this crazy, I'm working the fair,
Yeah.
so I'm working 24 hours a day. I really have missed coming over to your
Coming
place
down, yeah.
and hanging with you guys at the store. And people are missing it too because I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
When are you going to do more tackle tips with Sam?
Yeah.
You're a big hit here, man. Seriously.
You know, I just try to provide some information, and like I said before, we get guys coming to the shop and ask us questions. I just got to figure that there's got to be more people out there that are going to have the same questions. So, you know, I got a few things that I've been thinking about. We can do some videos, and maybe when things slow down a little bit, we got to do some more.
Yeah. Brandon just threw us a $5 bill.
There you
Brandon, thank you so much. Well, Professor Sam, I am a CalStar 270 glass for life. So donation to my glass rod friends. Keep it alive and well. Thank you, Brandon. Really appreciate that. DJ B, totally agree with Sam. I love my CalStars on the rail for bigger tuna, but other situations I will take my UC. Chevy tough versus Porsche.
Yeah.
Best to choose right gear for the right situation.
Yeah, yeah. And in the end, that's the deal. I mean, we talked about this a lot of times. A guy sometimes comes in the shop and they say, look, I'm looking for this rod and this reel. And they're both great rods and reels, but maybe they don't go good together, you know? And they both have high ratings and they're both, you know, very good quality, but they just don't go good together. So I think that a lot of times the question of what's the best may not always be a matter of trying to rate one product versus another. It's more about what goes good together.
Right.
And that's basically my whole philosophy, my whole business plan is trying to like put guys into gear that goes good together for them, for what they're trying to do.
Yeah. I saw a guy walk in the store to your store once and he was looking, I think he was looking for a trout outfit, and he had a reel and he wanted you to repair the reel, and you said, you know what, I can sell you a brand new outfit for what it's gonna, and then he was like, walked out of there with a big smile on his face, had a new rod and reel and better, new, and didn't have to spend the money to repair that.
I mean, definitely the customer's always right, but I feel like it's my responsibility that if I know something that's gonna help them out better than what they came in with, at least give them the option.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the guy wants it because it's sentimental value or something like that. Well, that's great. But he may not know that there's other options available. And so at the very least I can do is just let them know that it's available. And if he takes me up on it, then he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Absolutely, absolutely. Israel De La Cruz wants to buy you a White Claw, but I see you already got another one.
got one.
What do you got, a whole ice chest full of them or something?
I have them in the car.
Okay, there you are. You screwed up, Israel. You
Too late.
Dan's way ahead
Someone
of you.
else already bought him one.
Don't screw around, Phil.
Oh, and I still need to get Anthony on here with the gaff and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool gaff.
Thanks, man.
That's a really
You
cool.
making that?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, I can
Here we
sell
go
those.
again.
I can sell those.
This is a great. Hey, you know who came by before the show started today? I don't know if you. I'm sure you know this guy. I mean, brought a tear to my eye. I haven't seen him for so many years, and I know you know him. You got Frank Savino. Used to run the Enterprise.
Yeah.
He came in here, and it was great.
Frank?
Yeah, Frank came in, man. He's lost a lot of weight. He looks great. He's doing well.
Before he
It was
ended
good to see him, man. Yeah, it was really, really awesome. All right. Shoot. Oh, yeah. Steve Bermudez. The drop back is my favorite way of fishing for tuna. My 6X Salis blue and white heavy. Got a hook straight on the Malahini. He got that. So that's a good way to do it, right? Brian Ender. I don't know if this question has been asked yet, but how many White Claws can Dan Burns drink? No. Asked if you can actually get a Mad Mac, how would you rig it? Cable or other type of line?
So I'll back up one question here at the very end of Steve Berm there. He was asking about a replacement hook.
Yeah,
I
I'm sorry.
think.
Good, thank you.
So
You keep those questions.
yeah, so you know, I would just throw another Mustad hook on there, which is what they put on there from the factory, or VMC. We got a bunch of them there. You'd have to braze a new one on. It's something we can do. Most of the local tackle shops do that now. So if you know, whatever tackle shop you're supposed to call them up and see if they'll put new hooks on a jig. But you know, if you want to put a stronger hook on there, maybe try an owner hook. It'd probably be like a 3.0 or a 4.0 for that jig. Probably a 3.0 for a 6.6 junior. Let me do one more here.
Hold on. Yeah, then of
So,
course.
on the
yeah.
Mad Mac-
We got more people watching this show than ever. I think it's you. Hold on. Go ahead.
So on the Mad Mac lure, the way we've been having, most guys have been asking us to rig them, and it really started from the guys going down to Ensenada and fishing them. In the beginning, guys were saying, well, you got to fish them with 100-pound or 80-pound to get bit, because I don't know why, but you know, we started setting guys up with 200, and the guys down there started fishing 200-pound leader. Not so much because you were going to break the line or anything like that, but because sometimes they would swallow them and for chafing. So guys were afraid that, the 200 is too big, they're not going to eat it. Well, that hasn't been the case. So pretty much all of them will rig them with 200-pound mono, about a 5-foot leader or something like that. And then another thing that's been popular is changing out the back hook to a treble hook.
Okay.
5.0, 4.0 to 7.0, depending on the size of the Mad Mac.
There's a ton of people watching the show.
Yeah.
I think it's Dan Burns. Dan, I got to ask a couple more questions, and we'll get you on a reason for Brian Yoshida on a reason for day with Darren Dohe. We watched a guy bring in 26 bluefin tuna with an electric grill and knife jigs.
Heard about that.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. I mean,
Well, 29's,
I have film of that.
yeah,
I have film of that.
that's pretty crazy. I mean,
yeah.
I have film.
that's another thing too, you know. I mean, there's guys that are experimenting with these electric
grills.
Yeah, I know last year there was a guy that came through the shop. He was going to fish on, I forget which boat it was. It might have been the Intrepid or something like that. And he was going to fish wahoo with an electric grill. And, you know, figuring that if you can get a cast out somewhat and turn the thing on and wind, you know, because that's the hardest part of wahoo fishing is winding a jig real fast. And I guess he did pretty good, but I don't know. That sounds pretty crazy.
We're about to break 100 people watching the show right now.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
not fishing film.
56 likes. Yeah, I agree, Dan.
Yeah.
I got to catch up, and I'm going to come to
I'm
you.
sorry.
When will 22nd Street Landing, Big Duke X or Big Duke 10 wants to know, when will 22nd Street Landing get a long range vote, Tanner, Cortez? Well, they fish Tanner and Cortez now.
yeah.
By long range, if you mean like 4 and 5 day trips, who knows?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. Might happen.
Yeah.
Maybe the Independent someday will
I
retire
would do it.
this way.
I mean, I would do it. I think they would fill 10 trips easy.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, BB. So I have some Sabres and CalStars, but when I started back up, Who Knew Frontier? Now with Braden Top Shot, do you have that there in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Read it some more. No, that's a $5. Another $5 from Brandon. Keep it coming in,
It
Brandon.
says Avids, etc. I lost it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think what he's commenting now is just that that he's been fishing them with Spectra and he loves them and they've been doing
small
great.
Avids, yeah.
Yeah.
Jose Guevara, will a CalStar BT 670 be on a 30-pound rod?
Would be a 30-pound rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a heavy 30-pound rod. I would say that's pretty common for 30-pound. A lot of guys, you can use it up to 40. It's got a lot of backbone. For sure, for 40-pound, be all right.
Brandon throws us another $5. Have you seen the new Penn Fathoms yet? They are silver ones and look a lot more sexy.
So a
than
couple
other
things about
products.
those reels. They look good, for
Yeah.
sure. The price is the same, which typically when they do an inline change like that, where they make some changes, they'll raise the price.
I thought it was Dan making noise.
Same price on the reel, which is great.
Oh, Tino's coming.
They've also added a couple sizes. So a smaller size and a couple bigger sizes. So
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's hot on those. I can't wait to get them. And it looks like we're not going to get them until October, November, or something like that. But when they come in, they're going to be hot. for
Gabriel
sure.
did Trinidad Kai Fish Killer. Thanks. Went to Bass Pro, and they recommended 20 to 40. And the reels look very small going back to replace that. We'll be at Bass Pro Shops on September the 10th. Get some rest, Friedman. Come on. Yeah. Rest.
I agree.
Sleep when you die,
I
Dan.
agree. I agree. You are nonstop.
I'm nonstop,
I grew up
man.
with you. I've done this for 40 years.
I love this guy.
40 years.
I think he's going to have to be a
guest.
we have to get a microphone
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there. You're an
They
outstanding
can hear me,
addition.
I'm a loud fucking motherfucker.
Hey, watch your language. There's children out there. Please.
My son's watching.
You're going to get them banned.
No, that's all
He's
right.
only 10.
All right, Tim P. Oh, he's telling me to get some rest. I'll do that. Darren Dohe. Hey, Friedman Adventure fans, hit the like button. Shoot, man, we're up to almost 70 likes here. 100 people are
There you
watching
go.
us
There you go.
almost. That's got to be up at the top.
Darren's the bomb.
Darren
Yeah.
Dohe.
He is the bomb.
He came down here the other night and had dinner with us before we
Moved.
did a show.
Yeah.
He's such a super great guy, right? I mean,
Ours fishing tackle back 20
Yeah.
God, yeah, remember
Yeah.
that?
Is the buy tackle for him and Terry.
Exactly. Mike V, much love from New York City.
Oh, wow.
Phil, Sam, and chat. Mikey V, we miss you here. Mikey was always coming here and donating stuff. He's a super good guy, great fisherman. Really, really, really good. Phil, will his voice be gone? Daniel wants to know. No, it's coming back.
Coming back,
Getting
actually, yeah,
stronger.
You have the best voice, though. You've always had the best voice.
Yeah, that's the one thing I got going for me. Turbo T2. What rod from both Seeker and UC do you recommend for yellowtail? He throws us $5.
There you go.
The money's rolling in. I'm going to be able to survive. I can eat this week. What do you say?
For throwing iron. Okay, so Seeker, obviously the Alua's been around forever.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost will put, jig fishing on the map, so that the Alua's going to be a good one. Probably a lot of rod for most people. I would think for the everyday guy in the Seeker, the 6490 would probably be something that's most versatile for most people. Most people can use that rod. It's a 9-foot rod. From UC, obviously their big hit, the 9E, is a rod that, and we sell a ton of those rods. It's probably one of the most popular rods in their whole lineup. They also have the new 10E, which is a 10-foot rod. That's really, really nice.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are fishing still stuff that was out before those rods were out. So they have the 90 Monster, the 100 Monster, the Del Mars. Those are pretty good. In the UC line, since they first really started, they've come out with so much new stuff that I think you almost got to come down and pull on it. But if you were just going to pick one rod, it'd probably be the 9E. And from Seeker, I'd probably say the 6490.
All right, perfect. Daniel Liano says, I think the show will go till his voice goes. That's midnight, man. I'll keep going. And I'll be with the morning briefing tomorrow morning for all of you. Thousands of people tuning in for that. That turned into a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned into a really good deal. Israel De La Cruz. Oh, and by the way, Israel, I've got your pack from that you won last week. Can we hook up when I'm down on the Malahini in San Diego on the 19th or 18th if I come down early? Let me know, and then I can bring it to you that way. He wants to know, hey, Sam, do you have a website for your store to purchase stuff? I love to support your shop, but I'm all the way in San Diego.
I don't.
Any plans to do that?
You know what? When the pandemic first started, I kind of was messing around with it and trying to figure out how to do it. And we sold a few things, but honestly, I don't have the resources to do it well. So I'm not really planning on doing it at this moment, because I know that if I try to spend a lot of time doing that, I won't be able to spend a lot of time with the customers. And to me, that's the whole reason I do it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see myself.
Customer service.
Yeah, I couldn't see myself doing something that would take me away from that.
Yeah, right.
So for right now, I'd say no.
Yeah, all right. That sounds like a good answer. Okay, well, what's the hottest bait you're getting hit up for during the bluefin besides the Mad Max? Good question.
Knife jigs. Knife jigs in general. We've gotten, this year's kind of was a little slow in the beginning, in the middle of the year, the middle of the season. Early on, they were good. It seems like they're coming back on. But I'd say knife jigs in general. So I know we're giving a couple away today. I don't know if you want to do some of those here in a little bit, but.
Yeah, and you know what? My spinning thing for my Patreon thing is not working here.
Man.
So what we're going to do, no, here's what we're going to do. This will be fun, I think, right? Dan Burns will be in on this. We're going to ask a question.
Okay.
And the first guy that puts up in the comments
All right.
the correct answer wins.
All right.
And then Anthony's going to write his name down.
I had an idea, but before I saw that you had the spinning thing last
Yeah.
time, I got 3 questions that I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
I watched the morning briefing. And
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure everyone else is watching. So I'm going to ask
a morning
ask 3
briefing
questions.
question.
Well, we could ask some questions on some habits of things that you say, or maybe some things that are.
Do you have questions in your head?
I got some questions.
He's going to ask the question. So this is not rigged at all. He can ask the question. I think, is that okay with you?
I don't care, yeah,
And then will you write the person's name down? You know, we ought to make it where they have to go to your shop to pick it up. Then I don't have to mail it.
Yeah.
And you get somebody in your shop.
Great.
All right. That's what we're going to do. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Because Anthony is going to ask a question. The first one who gets the answer, you get to go to Sam's shop and pick up your winning thing.
Yeah.
And he's going to write it
I
down.
always say Sam Shop's pretty badass.
Dan says Sam's shop is
Thanks,
pretty.
Dan.
No wonder you brought him in.
Pretty impressive.
It really is.
Phil, all in life.
Yeah, come on over here.
Phil, remember back
Yeah.
in the day, it was Jerry's tackle.
Oh yeah. All right. So okay. You're going over here. All right. Here's Anthony Amalfitano. Everybody.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Friedman family, as I call it, because once I joined this channel, literally, my wife said that my life had changed. She couldn't believe all the friends that we had made. I got to go on the Pride and go on some fishing trips with them, and really looking forward to getting my arm better and getting out on the Malahini if I can make it. But
I hope
if
so.
not, I did want to come by when Moon was on. There were some mentions on spinning reels and spinning rods, and as me and Sam kind of touched on before, there is that stigma that is out there. I am pretty much, besides this setup, strictly a conventional rod guy, even for throwing lightweight stuff. But I gotta say, I went on a trip on the Ocean Odyssey, and I had an opportunity to get into something that was a little more affordable. And like we were talking about, like, I'm only gonna do popper fishing every now and then, but to get into a Daiwa Proteus with the Daiwa 6500 BG on it is really affordable and functional. So you get almost 30 pounds of drag, and I've been have lucky enough to get those clear small poppers that Sam's definitely hot on. So what I want to do is, since I can't take it, I'm going to give this rod and this reel to Phil to be able to take on the Malahini with
Or
those
if
poppers
you don't
if
go.
I don't go. And anyone that's on that trip that wants to throw a spinning rod or maybe throw a popper that's not really ready to invest in something like that, this Proteus and this dial will be set up. It's got J-braid on it with our favorite Opsin on there. I threw some 35-pound, and Sam could kind of tell you for those even those smaller Dorado, 35-pound fluorocarbon is going to be perfect for it. And those pink Mad Scads, I had some good luck with that. My boat's small, so I don't have a big bait tank. I'm really restricted on bait, so I got to count on artificials. And anything that's pink, I've had good luck with on the Dorado. But I just wanted to throw that in there. That way you guys could comment on other things that maybe Sam could give you ideas too on what works if you don't have a big bait tank, or if you want to throw poppers and get a Daiwa Proteus rod or something more affordable, because you could work your way all the way up to a Saltiga that's $1,000 reel. But for someone like me that's just going to use it every now and then, my wife could jump on here and she could do this, off-season bass fishing, dropper loop. And it's a good island rod for Catalina here in San Pedro. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and I hope that if someone does catch a great fish on it, you guys have a good time, and the rod will be on the Malahini for anyone to throw poppers. They could throw some poppers.
Hey, Anthony, before you go, it's really great to have you part of the family, man. You're an awesome guy. Your wife, your family.
I appreciate it, man. And, it is a family, and I just want to let you guys know, too, after the last podcast, there was a couple guys that were commenting on gaffs. My hand is broken, so I'm out of the game. I'm sitting on my butt and watching Phil's show. But other than that, I had an opportunity to kind of watch some videos and take some pointers from Moon, and had an opportunity to kind of make a gaff for you guys. And at the end too, what we'll do is, if anybody is interested in this gaff, it's a teal and black. It's wrapped in UV resistant flex coat.
Can we test it out on Dan?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll look it on the back of a truck and put Dan on the other end. We'll see how strong it is. But it's heat treated bamboo, and it's got some X wrap on it, and I'm going to donate it to the show. And
Wow.
If there's anybody that gaffs a fish with it, you could repay me back by gaffing the fish and sending the picture to Phil.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you so much. And you're going to ask some questions at the end.
Yeah, no, I'll be here, and if you guys have any needs for gaffs, nobody makes a 5-foot or a 7-foot gaff, but if there's anyone that needs a 5-foot or a 7-foot gaff, or you want a specific color, you can hit me up at Pacific Hookup on Gmail, or Pacific Hookup on my Instagram. It's a Pacific Hookup with a space in the middle. So anyways, guys, if anyone needs a gaff or anything like that, just let me know, and be happy to make one for you guys.
You're the man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anthony will be back in just a little bit. Brandon says his $5 donation didn't go through, Phil. I donated another 5 spot. Oh, okay. Well, should I take back my thank you and then thank him again?
Thank him again.
Yeah. Lucky Cat Adventures. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Hey, Sam.
Tom.
Daniel Liano's always talking about a person surf fishing. Mikey V, Proteus or stout rods?
Yeah. They make a whole range of rods, from very stout rods to medium rods. Yeah.
Perfect. Brandon says, thank you, Anthony. You are way too kind of a person. Daniel Lianos, yeah, I have conventional Proteus deckhand style. Hey, calm down over there, you two. It's like teaching again, you know?
It is.
You put these kids in the
We're
corner.
gonna use the rock for a guy that's got one
Guys
hand.
got one
Hey,
hand.
you see that birthday thing over there? It's really a dunce cap. Put it on him. All right.
My birthday next month.
Perfect. I have a conventional Proteus deckhand style. I am starting to lose my voice.
Yeah.
You're excited to see me.
I am. It's been way too long. You and Frank Savino the same day. I'm gonna lose
I've
my.
known you longer than
I'm gonna lose my mind. Travis Bright, awesome. Thank you. I'll throw it in on the 19th. Hey,
There you go.
There it is. Perfect. Travis is a great guy, by the way. Super great guy. Israel, the 18th, I'm off at 5 p.m. Can we meet up afterwards? Yeah, we'll figure that out. So let's make a plan. I think I'll come down the night before. My penance, if I go down the night before, you know where I have to sleep?
Scott Buchert.
Scott Buchert's
Oh,
couch.
man.
Yeah. And he F's with me, comes out and throws water on me. Scott doesn't, have a great deal of respect
Sleep
for
on the
me.
boat or something.
Yeah, I should.
You raised that.
I'd be better off sleeping in downtown San Diego
Yeah.
on a bus bench or something than there with Scott Buchert. But no, I'll be with him. Yeah, we'll figure out a way. Nothing compares to Island Tackle with a 75-mile radius of this shop. Absolutely nothing, says Big Duke 10.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, how can you beat that? Dino Ricchetti. I'm old. Mike Morrison, do you want to come in here and say anything?
Well, he's hugging me.
He's claiming that you invited him.
Yeah.
I did.
Why?
Yeah.
He's in 86 3 times.
He from here?
Yeah.
That's all right.
He's been
Today?
thrown out of here for.
Arrested twice in
You mean today?
Not this week.
Mike Morrison, the manager of
I thought
22nd
his,
Street Atlanta,
I thought his,
is like,
I thought his
why would
probation
you?
time was over.
Why would you invite?
Let me borrow that.
He told me his
Do I have to
probation
give it
time
to
was
you?
over.
No, I'm just talking to
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, guys. Another.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Phil probably told you about all kinds of things. We just switched up the Freedom to a day-and-a-half schedule.
Beautiful.
Sunday nights will be a day and a half, leaving at 9. Tuesday night's going to be an 8 o'clock departure. We're going to fish everything offshore.
Kelp.
Yeah, we're going to either do kelping or we're going to do nighttime tuna fishing.
Or both.
You guys are aware of what's really going on. We've had our opportunities and just haven't connected. Trevor went out the other night and had 13 fish in the dark before they got to Clemente, and it worked out. We tried to ride that wave overnight fishing so we didn't have to raise the price too much. But now we're day and a half, and we're going to see what happens
Day and a half for the foreseeable future?
till the end of the month.
Yeah.
I mean, September's probably going to be the same thing. But as you know, you guys saw that freelance caught 89
Dorado.
not on a kelp, free swimming. So next week's weather is going to be pretty badass, and I'm sure the native in the pursuit's going to probably be doing that pretty quickly.
I would
This
have-
Catalina Island ran out of fish.
Aaron, did you go out there?
He caught a 200-pounder.
He did? Was that a 200-pounder?
It looked like it.
That's nice.
Is
It true that Dan Burns will be on the Freedom?
I'm not allowed
I
to
told you he's not allowed to go fishing.
Well, what the hell are you
was he on
inviting
that?
him here
Was he on
for?
that 9 to 9 today?
Yeah, that 9 to 9. he
So
got
he's
a
coming in.
200-pounder.
He'll be coming in. You could
Yeah.
get him on camera.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Hey,
Perfect.
that's a long story.
All right, that's the 200-pounder that
see
got
it?
on the
Oh hell yeah!
on the.
That's an honest
Oh nice.
150.
Yeah.
On the kite?
No, just
Nah.
fishing around, jamming around 3/4 day, bro.
All right, nobody can hear you guys anymore, so get
Okay,
over here.
long story short, next week's weather is probably the best weather we've seen in a long time.
What time's he coming in? At 9?
He'll be
exactly?
here about 9 something.
Nice.
Oh, so we got till 9 at least
Yeah, yeah.
until my voice gives out, right?
He was gone when you got here.
I know. I'm doing my best though, man. I'm glad you came in and gave me a little
Oh,
relief.
Here's another insight.
Over here.
For another insight for you guys, I might have missed this one, but
Yeah.
I ran reverse day and a half on the Pride. I was up for quite a few hours, and what I saw is if it's windy, fish a heavy flatfall or knife jig or any of that stuff that's supposedly working. If it's not, fish a 200 to 300 gram, because the guys that were fishing, they're on a budget. They're fishing a 6X yo-yo jig with a stinger hook in it, and the guy had 6 fish. So he outfished the boat because he was fishing lighter in no conditions. So if you're in no conditions, listen to the captain.
Go
You're gonna get
lighter.
bit. Go lighter.
Yeah.
There's heavy ones. They blow right past the fish up here. I don't know what the hell's going down there in San
I've heard
Diego.
the same thing.
They're blowing right past the fish.
Yeah.
Sinker rig was getting bit, but they were fishing like 12 to 24 ounces. So know the wind, know your conditions. If you know it's not going to be windy at night, fish a lighter flatfall. And
Yeah, these are like 300s
yeah,
right here.
and it doesn't matter how many hooks you have in there.
No.
Those things dive down perfect.
Yeah.
And what Sam had there is basically what you need, anything from 250 to 400 grams.
Yeah.
But seeing it first-handed, the guys that were fishing the 400 plus just blew right past the fish, even though they had markings on their lines. So they weren't big.
That's another change we've had too. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was the bigger the better.
Yeah.
I mean, guys had these gigantic 500, 600 gram things, and they were getting bit.
Yeah.
At first, it was like a joke, like, man, it's kind of funny. But then you catch a fish, you're like, oh shit, I need one of those.
Exactly.
Now it's all this like 200 to 350.
Yeah. So have
So,
it.
I
Have
don't
your
know.
500 to your 180 gram flat falls
Yeah.
rigged up. Go to your tackle store, get it done. And then during the day they aren't line shy. These foaming fish, you just wait for an opportunity. I was fly lining a sardine on 80 pound on a 2-0 circle hook. You know how awkward that is.
Yeah.
And I was bit. So when you get on these foamers, they're up for a minute. You can cast into the foamers and hook them in the asshole and hope they stay hooked, which we had a couple that worked that way. But, the guys that were fly lining bait and had patience on the heavier line, they landed their fish. The guys that were on 20.
Like that, like right off the bat.
Exactly. Something like that,
That bite. That foamer bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wide open.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just told you.
Yeah, exactly. But the everything's going to be an opportunity, especially if you're on a 3/4 day and a full day or something out of LA County right now. You gotta be ready. I mean, I'm sure Aaron said he hooked like 9 fish to land 1. So
Yeah, you got to have the right tackle, right? Yep.
it's just they're not biting.
Especially he's
Not
giving
easy.
you the word right now. This is what we're targeting.
Yes.
You're on notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You have a chance for this,
You
Yeah.
get bit
no
on-
matter
you
what kind of
get-
run you're on right
Yeah,
now.
you get
almost.
bit on 25 pound, but there's no way in hell you're gonna land it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I watched somebody land an 80 pounder on 30, which worked, but we were on it. We lost
Yeah.
the rest of the bite
Yeah.
for an hour and 30 minutes later. I mean, it happens. There's nothing wrong with it, but
That's how we grew up.
it's
If,
just
if
it's
they'll
how
eat
it is.
50, feed them 50. They eat 80.
They were eating 80.
Yeah,
Like,
if they eat 80, yeah, give them
everybody
80.
that was fishing 60 and 80 had a fish during
Yeah.
the day.
Fish
There you go.
heavy.
Yeah.
Get them.
Wow.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah, that was cool. And I watched. Oh, here you go. So we had like 4 mackerel in the tank. All 4 of them got bit, but here's the one that was cool.
Yeah.
It's about 40 yards behind the boat. The foamer's gone. We're on a couple fish on lighter tackle. In the stern now, drifting properly. I look over and I see that guy's mackerel just kind of spinning around. And then I was like, I look over and I go, dude, did you see that? He goes, what? I was like, that was like a 200-pound fish. And he goes, what? It didn't even come out of the water. Just broke
Cruising
the
by it.
surface. It was like prop wash. Whoosh, like a torpedo went off. Next thing you know, this thing hits it from the bottom,
Like
bottom
a great white
up,
shark, huh?
and you see the mackerel in his mouth, like a dog.
Oh my God.
And I go, dude, you got to hold on. He's like, what? Put that thing in gear. Like, watch. It's a 205. So
Oh God. How bitchin' is that?
6 feet out of the air.
That is
Just
awesome.
right
Really?
behind the boat. And just dives down. I'm like, dude, hold on. Here it goes. He's had a cigarette going, a beer in his hand. He's got a 20-minute soak on a mackerel. And I was like, this is shit I'm going to talk about in 30 years.
Yeah, that's the guy. You cannot
Out of the water.
freaking
6 feet out of the water.
unbelievable
And we
experience.
had a 60-pound yellowfin too on that trip.
Oh, really? There you go.
Awesome. Yeah, more to come, I think. Ernie, what's up, my man?
Thank you, everybody. We are about to go on a 2.5-day fishing trip on the Amigo.
Ernie's going on a 2.5-day trip on the Amigo, in case you can't hear him.
Yeah, and we're going to fish with Mark Jr., who I saw him
nice.
as a deckhand when he was 8 years old on the Independent.
100%.
Phil's going to be back here at 5 a.m. to interview.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be here when you guys get in, Ernie.
Thank you.
Hey, it was so nice to see
George is
you.
gonna make great
Thank
food.
you.
George always makes great food.
Ernie,
Good luck, man.
good luck, man. Get him.
I'm out of here. Good night.
Mike Morrison, that story Mike just told was freaking awesome. Hey, Mike, do you know a guy named Brandon? Brandon, he comes down here and fishes a lot.
Yeah.
He wants to know if you 86'd him or can he come back? I think maybe you threw him out. Huh?
What's his last name?
Brandon Kassar.
Is he
Kassar.
is he Team Burns?
Brandon
Then yes.
Kassar.
Let me see if he has a.
I think he's on the Dan Burns.
Team, yeah, he's Team Burns. I don't
Randy
know.
Penny is here. Randy Penny.
I just told you.
Throw a dipper.
There
Laughing my ass
goes
off.
the ratings.
Dan Burns.
I throw
Look at this guy. He's crying. Look at him.
Oh my God. He's gonna cry. Arnie Man from Ensenada says hello.
There you go.
¿Cómo están tus palomitas, Arnie? He always eats palomitas during, you know what that is.
Yeah, yeah,
obviously. All right,
Brandon, your name's not red. now.
Brandon, you're okay.
The red names are bad.
Brandon, you're okay.
Yeah,
You're not next to Dan Burns on the list. You're okay.
But here we go. Hold on, here's even better.
I missed some comments. Do you
last
see
time
something that I
he-
missed?
Yeah.
You can read them.
Tell him the last time
You can
he
go
was
ahead.
on.
All right, here
Unless
we
you
go.
can't see them.
Yeah.
All right. Sam's going to catch up. Go
Says,
ahead.
okay, Dino Ricchetti.
Yeah, Dino.
Yeah, I'm an old school conventional guy, but I'm willing to give it a try on the Malahini. See you soon.
All right, Dino will be there. Dino, can't wait to see you.
Brandon here, Ducks Go, right, Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Brandon guy.
So Phil, I got a new graph tech with the sales tag still stuck on it. Don't need it. Can I donate it? Can I
Sure.
donate the tuna rod also to the Freedom family? There
Of
you
course.
go. There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
And then 1212 on fire for JC. What's your guys' favorite way to catch bluefin?
Yeah.
Probably on fly line bait.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
my
right.
favorite. If you
And
can get
then-
them on that, that's a favorite.
Tenor bank on the anchor.
Yeah.
On
If
the
you
fly
can,
line.
if you can get them.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time it's going to be on a
That's
jig,
the most fun.
but that's the most fun. Yeah.
Are we to Joe's question right now?
And then
I'm not sure
Brandon
what-
again, got to respect Mike. This dude works bait boats to freaking run in the sporties. Unbelievable work ethic. And then Dan, you're at Randy Penny.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, and then so we got Dan. I'm not sure what the map is called, but I'm looking for one of those maps. And Joe, they're called charts when you're looking
Yeah.
at that kind of stuff, which is I'm not.
Chart. It's on
It's called a chart. I'm not. It's not a put down. I'm not saying. I'm just telling you. So the chart that has the 371, 405, and the islands. Thank you.
Yeah,
You
we
can
got
pick
those.
That, yeah,
Yeah.
you got them at your place.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
them over at his place, so you can pick them up there.
Yep.
And or I think Morrison might even have them
I'm
here.
sure he's got some. Yeah.
He's got, but you got a bunch
Most
of different
tackle
stuff.
shops should. So wherever
laminated.
Yeah, they're laminated. They have them in like a book form. If you want to get a whole bunch of them, which is probably what you want to do if you don't have any.
Yeah.
But come down and check them out.
Okay. All right. Brandon was asking if he got 86. I think you're okay. Your name's not in red.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. And he's saying it's called a chart. Yeah. It's properly called a chart. Yeah. Perfect. I'm in Arizona. Where can I find them? You can read in Arizona. I'm not sure. Probably.
Internet.
Yeah. Joe, I think if you search, just search online for Southern California.
If you can't
shark
find it,
charts.
call us down. We'll mail you one out.
Yeah.
We got different ones.
Joe, if you can't find it, call Sam and he'll mail it to you.
Take care of you, yeah.
Okay? West Marine is another place you could find
Yeah.
those. Dan Burns. Who is this guy? Matt Resnick. Dan Burns
that's my boat partner.
is
The best.
best. Not a boring trip ever.
No.
How much did you pay this guy to come in here and say
On the
that?
blackjack with me.
Oh.
On the blackjack.
Oh, really?
My boat partner.
What is the blackjack?
George Posnick was my captain, and he died
Yeah.
at Rocky Point.
He died at Rocky Point?
Yes.
Yeah, died.
Shalvar Blackwell. George Posnick.
Uh-huh.
I own the 44 Pacifica and the 31 Innovator, the blackjack.
Okay.
On the blackjack. And he's my boat partner.
All right. Well, you got a fan out there. There's one.
He's a good lawyer, too.
Oh, he's a lawyer?
Oh, huge lawyer.
Oh, perfect. All right. Brandon says, thank God I can still fish. He didn't get thrown out of here yet. Brian Yoshida. Sam, when is the casting meetup?
I know, huh?
Yeah, we got to do that. Let me get through this next week.
Yeah.
Sunday, the fair is over.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you at the fair. You should come in there. I'll serve you up a drink.
I can't get home.
86.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll take what do you call it?
Uber.
Uber.
I have an Uber.
Yeah. Matt Resnick. Phil, you don't remember me? Matt,
Resnick.
I'm sure if I saw your face, I would totally remember you.
I
I
have
remember.
his face right here.
Oh, you do? Let me see it.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on, everybody.
We're on the
Come on,
road.
can you make this
we
fast?
We can't to get out there tonight.
So that casting meet,
Anthony.
we were talking about the casting meet.
Yeah,
maybe
go
trying
ahead.
to do it
Talk
later
about
in the
why
year.
he finds this.
Maybe in October or something like that. Once it slows down here a little bit. 'cause
Yeah.
That's Matt Resnick.
Of course I remember Matt.
We would probably want to do it on a weekend, and right now the half-day boats are pretty busy, so
Yeah.
we don't want to get in the way of their trips. But maybe come October when it slows down a little bit, we'll see
We're
what
going to
happens.
have a whole schedule of stuff. And
Yeah.
then Sam and I are actually, Sam doesn't know this yet, but Sam and I are going to sit down and kind of choreograph the year to come.
Yeah.
With some great new stuff. And Patreon members, I'm going to be doing some donut and coffee meet down here at the landing for Patreon members only. Come down, hang out with us. We'll be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. So that should be a lot of fun. Anthony, do you have a question? We're going to do one right now.
Let's do it.
All right, come on. You want to do a question for the morning briefing?
I got a trivia question.
So hold on, everybody. Here's how this is going to work. Sam is going to give out this lure. You got to go to his place to pick it up.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to, I can't figure.
Yeah.
What's that worth? About
Well, we
$1,000. I like Dan.
we sell them at the shop like this, rigged up, 2 hooks, 200-pound leader,
Yeah.
$37.50.
Okay, and Dan
Yeah.
sells them for $1,000.
Yeah. Dan sells them for $60.
Yeah,
If you want them
I
from
don't
Dan.
blame him.
Yeah.
He's got to make a profit
I
somehow.
don't fish that stuff anymore.
This is a Nomad jig. It's the Ridgeback heavy lure. It's a 320 gram, so just what Mike was talking about.
Yeah.
Rigged, ready to go catch a big bluefin.
Okay, perfect. So here's how this is going to work tonight. We're going to ask at least 3 questions. I think 4 because we're going to give away a gaff, right?
That's
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll start with this one and then.
So here's the
go along
question.
however you
He's
want
going to ask the question. The first one that puts up the correct answer wins. Okay? That will induce more people to watch the show live also.
Okay.
Right.
You've come up with a brilliant idea. You're in charge of marketing
Okay,
now.
this is the easiest one. We'll start with the easiest one. As far as this morning goes, on the morning briefing, according to Phil, and he doesn't want to put this on anyone else, to Phil, what time of day at what tide is the best time for shore fishing along the jetty for yellowfin croaker?
Yeah. What time is the best time to fish for
Specifically said
surfish?
it.
I did.
Specifically said it.
You know,
I
in
did.
In my head, I hear the Jeopardy music going on.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Well, we'll get back to another question. We'll see.
Phil
Oh,
obviously knows the answer.
Good job. Yes, I do know the answer.
That's Phil's philosophy.
That's right.
That might be, Tom, you have to be more specific. Don't they say that on Jeopardy
Yeah,
also? Richie Rich, 2 hours before, 2 hours
That's
after.
exactly what he said.
Yes.
That's exactly what
That's
he
a
said.
slam dunk. Richie Rich, put his name down,
right,
please.
all right.
All right, Richie Rich.
Wow, pretty.
You got to go to Sam's place. You got a $1,000 lure for free for answering that question. Excellent answer.
That was pretty good.
Taking kids, Patty. We just blew back by a bunch of questions.
No, these are all responses. Guys are trying to get responses in, but it's too late.
I love it.
I like it. This is out of control. This might be a whole new thing.
Phil, because I'm here.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had the ticker last time. That's why.
I was prepared.
Inspiration.
We've got to get Dan Burns here. Anthony asking
Yeah.
questions. This whole show.
Formula. It's a formula.
It's a new whole thing. Man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
this. It's really going
Because
good.
you're like a little guy.
He's not here. The Chinese man's not here.
He goes to high school with my son. Oh.
Hey, Albert Ponce had a bunch of people had the right question, but not on time. There will be 3 more questions, so hang in there. We'll get Anthony back in just a second.
Randy Penny's actually watching. He never watches.
Scott, I know that's great. Scott
I
Bucher,
talked to him.
fishing was good on the T-Bird. Scott told me they were eating
Scott
the
knows me
80
very
pound.
well.
He knows Dan. Do you know Dan Burns, Scott?
Yes.
Scott, it's up to you. Do I allow Dan to stay or do I throw him out? It's up to
God
you.
knows me well. Says you'll
Greenwich, meantime. Carlos Matos, 420. Tony Gonzalez, 2 hours before. He got it right. Daniel Llanos, okay, wrong, but good answer. That is true. Richie Rich is coming to
Yep.
see you. This works out good because you get the
Yeah.
guy in the store.
You gotta get a
Who knows
market.
That's the
what?
best store.
Randy Penny. My answer was daytime. I lose.
Randy Penny's a badass fisherman.
Daniel
Yeah.
Llanos was just a little slow. Scott Grant, you cannot win unless you hit the like button first.
That's right.
Oh, darn it, Scott. That is a very good way to do this. 82 likes. We need to surge past 100.
Scott's the guy that you grew up with. That's his Tuna that grew up with the guy.
Scott?
Scott.
No, this is a different Scott. That I grew up with?
Scott Buchert.
No,
Oh, Scott Buchert.
Well, the little kid that I knew you all my life,
Yeah.
that you raised him to.
No, that's not. I don't know who you're talking about. You're talking about my kids, Philip and Patrick?
Before them.
No, Scott's not that old.
Yeah, no, he's not that old.
He was United States Tuna.
Yeah.
He
Well,
helped
Scott's
you
what,
out
like
for the last
25?
20 years.
No, Scott's like 25 or 30 or something.
He's got to be 35.
And his name was Scott?
Well, man, or you're 85?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Ranger 85.
All 976 Tuna trips, you brought him out.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could
Oh, I
be.
brought Scott
Could
out a
be.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 You know me on a Tornado.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, going to get a new cell phone and faster internet connection. Guys, I mean, this is like the best thing that ever happened.
One more. They want one more.
We're going to 100 people watching
want one more. I
again.
got one more.
There I go. It's me.
Charles Zimmer, do you know if they make an Abbott HX smaller foot? I have a couple of rods
Yeah.
that it won't fit.
So I don't know if I don't think
Why am I laughing?
Yeah, they don't make it with a smaller foot, but I think
It's big.
yeah, it's a larger, fatter foot basically.
Yeah.
So I know that on some of the rods, it's kind of hard to fit. I think Abbott makes a slimmer foot. I don't know if it fits the HX specifically, but you might want to look or call Abbott to see if they have that. Well, it depends on the reel seat you put on there. So I think that's what he's saying is, so you might have to put on a larger reel seat.
All right, Scott Buchert says to throw you out, by the way. So you
knows
just,
me. He
yeah, I know. He says he knows you.
A Lucky Cat, yeah, that's Tom Fujita.
A Lucky Cat Adventure says, "Hey, Randy Penny." Randy's been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
I'm really
We
honored
got to
that
get
he's
him on.
watching.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say
Yeah,
something.
Randy,
Before I came
you got to
down.
get on the show,
He
Randy.
won't go.
He will.
We'll talk.
We'll get him
We'll
talking.
work it out. We'll work it out.
We'll get him- We'll get him talked into it.
He knows more about the industry than anybody in the world.
Perfect.
Pretty
Steve
much.
He knows
Bermudez.
all the rods. He knows how they build.
Steve Bermuda says, "Can we please talk ounces and pounds? I'm not smart and too old to calculate." But they sell these things in grams, don't they?
That's just how they are. Yeah, I get it. That's kind of a tough one, but they do sell. All of these come in grams. So what you want to look for?
It's Japanese.
Just take your
200.
freaking smartphone and
Yeah, 200 to 400 gram. That's what you want to look for.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the metric system that well either.
Just calculate. They say
Yeah.
grams to.
You could do that. Yeah, most phones will have a calculator.
And kilometers to mileage.
Listen, Chris Sudoth is coming from Mississippi for my first West Coast trip, and he's tuning in. Chris, thank you. We're worldwide now. You
Nationwide,
realize
at
that,
least,
right?
Because
All right.
I was born all over branch. That's why.
Going on the El Capitan and leaving Sunday, renting rods. What tips can you give? Now he's a newbie.
Okay.
What tips can you give him to get the most of my trip? Can I give one first of all?
Same one I
Introduce
got.
yourself to
Same
the
one I got.
crew
Yep.
as a newbie.
Yeah.
Just walk up to them
Phil,
and
Anthony
ask them
Faye
to
is
teach you.
badass.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Alan Faye.
Alan Faye.
Yeah.
Anthony Faye.
So yeah, that's the first deal. You're on the right boat, first
Yeah,
of all.
perfect.
But yeah,
Tell Alan Faye you watched the Friedman Adventures
Yeah.
too, and he'll throw you right off.
Big
No.
Duke said exactly what you said.
yeah, make sure you talk to the crew. That's going to be your number one thing. Do exactly what they tell you. Exactly what they tell you, and you'll have a good trip.
Scott Buchert actually, this comment he put up is really the truth. He told me, "Hey, there were guys talking about your podcast. I didn't even mention it. I was listening. They love your podcast and they love Sam's stuff." So that's great to hear, right?
There you go.
Is he on land? Is he on ocean?
He just got in. Darren Dohey, maybe we should build the bow of a boat for the casting clinic.
That would be good.
Malahini, baby, right? Yeah, that would be
Well,
good.
so
We
that's
should
in,
do
that's in
that.
regards to them when they were at Seeker, how they had the stern of a boat
Correct.
for doing the seminars,
Seminar for an
but maybe a bow of a boat for casting. That's a pretty cool idea.
Lucky
I'm
Cat
on it.
Adventures, Randy Penny, next week's special
Oh
guest.
yeah,
Can you, Randy?
I will do it.
Randy, will you do it?
Randy's got to do it.
I don't have anybody booked.
I'll do it with Randy.
He'll do it with you,
Yeah.
Randy.
Moon
And
will do it.
We'll make sure Dan Burns is
Moon will
here.
do it.
Moon will be
Darren
here.
will do it.
Anthony will be here.
Round
To,
table.
Yeah.
Anthony's going to ask questions.
Yeah.
The Lord of the tables.
We've got more chances
knows
to win
more
with
than-
Anthony in just a second. Don't go anywhere.
It'd be incredible.
Randy
best show
Penny.
ever. Yeah.
Come on, Randy. You can do it. All right. Daniel Llanos, for each 100 gram, will match 100 feet of water.
Yeah, that's what they say, the sink rate.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're fishing 400 feet, you want 400 grams. But like Mike was saying, there's conditions. If it's blowing and you're drifting real fast, you got to use a heavier jig. So, bring different sizes of jigs. Don't always tie on the biggest jig if there's no wind. So just bring different sizes jigs. Yeah.
All right. Brandon sent another $5, I think, because he's not 86 from here. He said there's a lot of blueprint reels. I noticed a lot
Blueprinted.
of people are getting reels blueprinted.
Yeah.
My best friend sold me one. Opinion on them.
Yeah, no, they are great. They are great. Today's technology is definitely better than what we had 20 years ago, probably 10 years ago even.
As it will be in 10 years, right?
But Cal Sheets is still
Cal
pretty
Sheets is badass.
pretty much the master of
He still wants to come on the show. I got to get him on.
real
too.
technology.
Yeah.
As far as a guy who knows reels and
Eric.
what knows what needs to be done to them to
Here,
improve them.
Here's $5 right there. Damn bird.
Dan Burns, right here.
$5.
And you know what? I'm keeping it, darn it.
And those guys can obviously explain it better, but they take a reel that is within a certain spec and they make it perfect. And it's hard to explain in words and show it here,
Yeah.
but when you feel the two next to each other, you can feel the difference. And with any hobby, whatever kind of hobby you're in, you always want to have the best. And those guys, if you give your reels to them, and you know they only do certain reels, they're not going to take a Torium or something like that. But all the modern big fish reels, you give it to them, and it's going to be better for
All
sure.
right. Tangle Diver says fish the live bait. And Randy Penny obviously has seen the new Tom Cruise movie where Tom Cruise is playing like he's got a bad connection when he's talking. The general's ordering him down, and he's like,
You've seen it 10
"Wah, wah,
times.
wah."
I haven't seen it
No,
once.
I've seen it 15 now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm insane. I might go see it tomorrow again. Anyway, Randy says, sorry, bad connection. You're breaking up.
Yeah, Randy's not very
Yeah, he's seen that movie right there. So, all right, Chris in Mississippi, is it? I think, right? Or where was it? Yeah. He says, thanks, Big Duke. A Gulf of Mexico tuna fisherman. I'm new to the West Coast, man. I'd like to go back there and fish that with you. Should I bring any of my stretch 30 Rapalas and braid bonito for trolling? Sam.
Maybe the braid bonito, but stuff from over there, you would probably bring like any of your vertical type jigs. I'd have to see kind of what you had, but any kind of small metal jigs you probably can bring along. Other than that, if you're going to rent gear down here anyway, I would say just use what they have there, what they provide for you. And if you do have a spinning casting outfit, which I know that down on the coast, on the Gulf Coast, they use them a lot in fishing the oil rigs and things like that. If you have something like that you're confident with,
Yeah.
I try to bring that. I know it's kind of a hassle with the airplane and everything like that, but I think you'd have some pretty good success with that kind of gear.
Darren Dohe says, come on, Randy. The world needs to hear
my
from
gosh.
you.
I agree with that. And
Yeah.
Sam
In this
agrees with
time of turbulence, and
Randy
we're
Gray.
unsure about our future,
We need a man like Randy.
FBI raids
Yes.
and all this stuff going on,
doesn't like
a man like Randy must step forward
And steady the ship.
and steady the ship because
that.
the
He doesn't
ship
like- he doesn't
seems like it's about to
he
go
doesn't
down.
like talking his product.
Yeah.
He's the shit though.
Well, too bad. We're going to make him
He's
do
going to
it.
be on here.
He grew up with you on
Why don't you kidnap him? And,
Hey, maybe we'll go down to his shop.
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
I'll record it.
We could do
Okay.
that.
I would do that.
Either that or you can put that duct tape that you've got in your van to use and grab them sometime.
Give you
And
more likes than ever. Come on.
I'm kidding with
No,
you.
he's saying that duct tape to
Yeah,
tape him
duct
down.
tape him.
Randy.
And bring him here.
So we'll go down to his office. There
Yeah.
you
Okay, duct tape him.
Yeah.
go. No, he's weak. I got him.
Brandon wants to see Jolene back on the show. Jolene was a fantastic guest. I don't know if you saw her, but it's a lady angler.
Good
Roland,
to see women fishing.
Steve
Yeah.
Bermudez, 500 grams is close to a pound. That's
Yeah.
what I use as a reference.
Wow.
Don't those manufacturers know who won the war? Question mark. Metric system thing there, right? Big Duke X, Chris Sudduth, bring what you are comfortable with.
Exactly.
So, which is what you were
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
basically. And that's such sage advice. Don't disregard the tackle that we use here locally. You never know. Fish sometimes go for things they have not seen before.
That's true.
Tommy Rothery told me one time he was in a wide open wahoo bite on the Polaris Supreme and they stopped biting and he walked down there and he tried something entirely differently and it
on.
started all over again. And then he told everybody you need to switch to whatever it is. Randy Penny texting Darren hate mail as we speak. Let him have it, Randy.
Randy's nervous.
Isaac
He's nervous.
says,
He got him nervous.
how about a trip to all the local rod shops? Yeah, we could do
Yeah.
that. Why not? Jose Guevara.
Go to Sam's, and go anywhere else.
Cal's was putting on line on reels is also really good. He was able to put 430 yards of 100-pound hollow braid on the Fathom 40 LD2.
Yeah. So a lot of guys, you would think, come into the shop here to us, we do it. But if you're not near a shop, and you're gonna have your gear blueprinted by Cal Sheets, he has line there that he'll sell you, and that way you make sure it's put on right. So if you don't live close to a shop that has a good line winder, or maybe a shop that doesn't know how to deal with big gear, you're better off having him do it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Charles Zimmer, Brian Wynn is coming to our club on September the 8th
Nice.
for a fishing seminar. You know what club that is?
I don't know, yeah. But it's
I don't
Redondo
either,
Beach.
but Redondo Beach
Riding
Gun
Club.
Gun
Yeah,
Club.
yeah.
Sam and Phil, please join us with an appetite. Let's go.
I'll be at Cedros.
When is it? What day is September the 8th? Does
I'll
anybody
be
know?
at Cedros, yeah.
What day is September the 8th? Do you know?
It's on birthday.
Let's see, September.
Saturday.
You want to go?
No, I can't fly.
That's right. I told you.
Hey, I will try to do
He
that.
invited me. I can't.
It's a Thursday.
Thursday. I might be able to do that. I would love to do that.
If I can fly, I go.
Kevin Acevedo, thank
Actually,
you,
maybe on the
Danny,
10th, maybe,
for
yeah.
choosing the right surface iron for Barracuda. Isaac, I meant Rod Builder's Shop, Cal Star Seeker, United Composites. Eric Ramos, Sam, John from the shop reported yellowfin croaker bite at Dockweiler.
Nice.
Was full speed.
Yeah, he went after
Oh,
work.
Dockweiler?
Yeah.
I love fishing up
Yeah.
there.
Awesome.
Man, John, why didn't you send me a text, man? I might have to meet you
Yeah,
up
the
there.
whole beach is nice.
Charlie Zimmer says Thursday at 7 p.m. You're going to be at Cedros?
No, actually, I just looked back. It looks like I'll be in town. So
Are we
maybe
going?
Maybe we'll go down there. Yeah.
Let's keep in touch
I
on
do
that.
too.
We'd love to. Yeah, and Dan
go.
Burns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birds will show you how to fish.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, if Dan comes, just dial 911 like 20 minutes before he gets there, and everything will work out perfectly.
So just a little comment on John there at the shop. He just kind of took up more seriously some surf fishing.
yeah, because you guys are all in front of my
Yeah,
place the
so we've
other
been
day.
doing it here and there. He's gone with a couple of different guys, so he's taking it up. It's good to hear that he's had a successful day. I know
Yeah.
he's gone a few trips where he's caught maybe one or two fish or no fish. So I know he's going to be hooked. I mean, surf fishing is a lot of fun.
It is.
And if you have a good trip like that, it keeps you hooked for a while.
Rat Beach is
Hey.
unbelievable.
Well, I took him down there one afternoon.
Rat
yeah.
Beach, because they can't hear him.
Yeah, I took him down to Rat Beach, and it's basically Torrance Beach, almost going to PV
Yeah.
there. And
Why
we
is
went
it called Rats Beach?
right after Torrance.
Oh,
Lots of
I
rats.
never
Yeah,
knew that.
Lots of rats.
And
Yeah.
so
I grew up where it all go.
Well, that makes sense. Then.
took him
Lots of
down there.
rats.
We had about a half an hour to fish. And we got fish.
Yeah.
So I said, man, this is where you got to go. So he went up with his buddy. He's got another buddy, Caesar, that fishes up towards Dockweiler. So I'm sure they had a good time.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
You ready with another question?
Oh yeah. I got
All right, come over here. Anthony's got another question.
All right.
What are we giving away, Sam, before
Jig
Anthony
number 2,
asks the question?
same jig, just different color. This is pink and glow.
That's
Gonna-
Dan's favorite color, pink, right?
Pink and glow, yeah. Most
Yeah.
of the glow,
Breast
but
cancer,
sometimes the
come
pink.
on, come on.
Hey, that's what I'm
Same way,
saying.
rigged up all the same way there, guys.
All right, so another $40
Yeah.
if you buy it at your place, $1,000 if you buy it from in
Yes.
the parking
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
from
Right from
Dan
Burns,
Burns.
it costs a lot more money.
You have to go to Sam's shop to pick up your winnings.
Yes.
So
All
the
right.
next question, go ahead, Anthony.
Everybody listen up.
I'm getting close to Anthony. Your wife doesn't have to worry. The microphone is there.
All right, my wife's gonna love this one. Every morning when we watch the morning briefing, I usually listen to it with my kids on a speaker. They love hearing the roosters crow in the morning and hearing this guy's voice. Anyways, there's one word that Phil uses when he gets really excited about a lot of fish. What is the word that he uses when he's describing
You don't even
a
know.
lot of fish?
I don't even know if I know that. That's great. Oh, I do use that word a lot.
Tell him.
I do.
Great, it's a point.
I do.
I
I don't know.
There it is, Tom.
Oh, you got it.
Tom
Nelson.
Nelson. Way to go, Tom.
Ever since I became part of the channel and watching it, when Phil gets real excited and he says, "There's copious amounts of BFTs," and my wife goes, "What is he talking about? Big effing tunas?" I go, "No, babe, they're bluefin tuna.
Yeah.
Copious amounts of fish."
I hope somebody looks
You're a
copious
teacher at
and make
heart.
sure
Yeah,
that
you're using it right.
I never lived that word, so I met you.
there you are, Dan. Yeah. You better look that up. Make,
Tom Nelson, you got it, bro.
yeah,
Tom
write that
Nelson.
down. Tom Nelson. Go to Sam's place and get your copious Friedman Adventures T-shirt. Yeah, awesome. I love it.
That's unbelievable.
I would never come up with these questions.
I know,
These
that's
are
a good
the
one.
Best freaking questions.
That's a good question.
You're hired.
Did you know it?
And-
Did you know it, Sam?
Did you know it, Sam?
Now that you said it, yeah, I could hear it. I could hear it.
Copious amounts.
Tremendous. Ha! They hooked 30.
Look what he said there, Big Duke.
Oh, big dude. Phil, you went to Bishop and didn't know about
Rat Beach?
No. Hey,
Yes, I
He
do.
thought it'd be
no,
offensive.
Big Duke.
There's no way he didn't know about that.
I know the name Rat Beach, but I never knew
What
what
it meant.
acronym.
This whole
acronym.
time.
Grew up in the South Bay, big boy.
I know I didn't know what that acronym meant.
You
Right
just went
after
along with
Torre.
it. You just
Yeah,
went along.
just Rats Beach. Guess because there's
I figured when the
rats
rocks
around
on
there.
the rocks right there, they were
Rats
would
Beach,
come
I
out.
grew up
Yeah.
and I knew him, and Rats Beach, I grew up in Rats Beach.
That is too much, too funny. All right, what else, Sam?
Eric there.
Oh, Eric Ramos. They hooked 30 between 4 guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
30
shoot.
the yellowfin croaker.
That's
yeah.
in the surf?
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that is.
What, Sammy?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, you guys should tell us what you're catching them on.
what they
Eric.
got 'em on.
Oh, Lucky Crafts?
You know if they're listening
No,
to him,
they
just
probably got
digging
them.
for worms, right?
Digging for worms or fishing
Yeah,
a
yeah.
crocodile because
okay.
that works really
Love
well.
the crocodile.
I do on those yellowfin croaker, man. They work good.
But they're
It's
different.
fun, man.
They're different company.
Crocodiles.
Yeah.
Are fun, man.
Yeah, they're fun and they're
One of those
cheaper.
things that
That's
never
you
go
right
to
there.
You're on a deserted island. Crocodile would be one.
That's what you thought it was.
Playa de las Ratas. I thought it was.
It's still good, but beginning age is definitely still good.
Crocodiles still work.
Is this one of the most
Yeah.
fun shows we've ever had? don't
I
know.
think so,
What is the
Flavor.
what is the
Flavor,
ingredient?
little
that-
flavor, yeah.
Yeah, and what is it that I was ready to
Dan
kill you
Burns,
when you
Dan
invited
A
Dan
little bit of
Burns.
Dan. Yeah.
Dan Burns effect.
Dan Burns effect is
Yeah.
great, and Anthony. I mean, this is
Can you
pretty.
tell them
You know, you can only have so much Dan though. So you gotta be careful.
Well,
You can only have so much Dan. You gotta be
how
careful.
much is too much?
You'll know. Believe me, you'll
Yeah.
know.
It's like
How long have I known you?
240 years.
He has known him for a copious
A long
amount of
time.
years.
Copious.
A copious.
1982.
1982.
He started in
Yeah, we're in
He
Redondo
started 976 Tuna.
in '85.
Oh, but you worked on the boat to a special.
I was there in the '70s.
Yeah, year before me, and then we talked. And you started working on the $2 call.
Yeah, right. That's
And you called me for the fish counts.
absolutely. Yeah, Dan Burns and I go way back.
We go way back.
Hey, give us another like. We're up to 90 likes.
Well, yeah, more likes. That's a good story.
We're rocking
Yeah.
and rolling
That's a good story.
here.
He designed 96 Tuna. In fact, Glenn Miller, the owner of Redondo Special, would call 96 Tuna to see what's going on.
Yeah, all those
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
would, man. Yeah, I mean, actually, Steve Oropesa wants to do a show on it.
Should.
But I'm going to tease just a
Yeah.
little. When I first started, I was asking guys, you think, I got the impression because, like, you could call Redondo sport fishing in those days, and you'd go
They
like,
call me.
hey, how was the bite today? And they're like, that was, the guys
Yeah.
like, and when I worked
Yeah,
at
they're
that,
busy because they're busy.
they're hanging up on you. And,
Yeah,
And when
they're-
I went and
We were doing
worked,
1,500 anglers a day.
Yes,
I
I'm saying you're
worked there.
busy.
Yes, you
I
were
worked in that,
before
and I
did.
started
There's
hanging
no
up on
way.
people.
Yeah, you couldn't do
Wes
that.
McFarland and Danny Armstrong.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Yeah.
We were so busy.
You're too
we didn't
busy.
have time. We
You
were
had
24
500
hours.
people on
Yeah.
the barge.
We were open 24 hours a day.
Yeah, it was
24 hours a day.
insane.
It'd take us almost an hour to load the barge.
So I was thinking,
Forever.
I was thinking,
way.
There's a market for a
Yes.
fish report here.
Yeah.
And so, like, the first day I got 3 calls. The second day it went down to 2. Then I got 6. And I was teaching at Bishop Montgomery. I'm going like, hey, wow. And then my college professor calls me, Pete Hoffman, and he goes, have you seen the LA Times today? And I go, no. And he goes, Earl Grutzky wrote an entire full page on your dumb phone line. And I go, you got to be kidding me. 3,000 calls that day.
Wow.
You can go on 976.
Yeah, and then it just that's how I
No,
got.
you called me every night.
Yeah.
Report, and we became friends.
Do you-
You had a partner, Matt.
Yeah, Matt Kirster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember
I
Les?
remember in Vegas with that guy.
God, there was some
We go way
characters.
back. Do
Do you remember Les Punch?
Yes.
Les Puncher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I was a kid.
Les Puncher. I can't even get
No,
into
we can go way back on this.
Oh my God. I
That's
can't.
why I love you. I came to
He
see
digs deep.
I'm
He
not
digs
even
deep.
telling the story and we're laughing. Forget Les
Phil,
Puncher.
Phil.
Yes, Dan.
Rick Opinger and us.
Yeah, Rick on the all
Rick
those
taught me how
guys.
to fish.
Barney Barnes.
Barney, but before
Had so much fun there.
Barney was.
Like Anthony.
I'm sorry.
I'm
to
just making
change
sure
the
we're-
All right, let him
subject.
catch up. Let him
All right,
catch
they
up.
caught sand. I mean, they didn't catch sand crabs. They
No,
used
we can talk forever about
they
that.
used sand crabs for bait.
That's fake news.
On the
Big
yellowfin
Duke
croaker.
X. Okay, let's have a bit more fun.
Trojan versus Bruins.
What about it? How about Trojans versus the Irish? That's
Yeah.
that's the game.
I'm a
I'm,
Bruin. Come on. Coming back.
all right, Steve Bermudez. Forgot the bluefin talk. Let's talk Wahoo and Dorado. Both better tasting and more beautiful to take a picture of. You agree?
Yeah,
These guys are-
Wahoo fishing is probably pretty dang close to yellowtail fishing.
Yeah, perfect. Brandon, I would get your back, Dan, but I'm trying not to get 86 myself.
I did 86.
I'm on a tightrope right now. Yeah. Somebody else says plethora. Maybe I should start using plethora.
You got to think of a
instead
new word,
copious.
yeah.
Plethora is a good one. Copious amounts, right? I don't know why I came up with it. Who knows why that. All that stuff just pops into my head. I don't have a script. I have some notes,
I
and
know
then
you
I'm
don't have
just.
That's what makes it fun. Hey, that's why it's trivia. You got to watch.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting ready for another question. Don't go away. We're up to 80 people watching. 90 likes. Come on, we need some more likes. Daniel Llanos, my mom, born and raised fishing Redondo Pier in the old barge.
There you go.
Did you fish on the Mondstadt Pier? Or
Yeah.
are you that old?
Mondstadt
Yeah,
Pier.
how old are you?
47.
Yeah, you're a young
Yeah.
guy. I
Yeah,
almost got
47.
20 years on you.
Yep.
That's makes me sad. Say nice things to me about me at my funeral.
I will.
There'll be at least one person.
Copious amounts of nice
Copious
things.
amounts of lovely comments. Yeah, I love fishing that. I have such fun. Where did those two guys go?
I would have a beer, I guess. I don't know.
Probably. I have great memories of fishing that pier. Whether it was sliding the bait down, catching big bonita,
Yeah.
watching the old guys, like the old timers on the very front of that pier make this long cast and catch these big bocaccio
Yeah.
off the pier.
I never did that.
That was pretty
Bonita.
wild.
Fish bonita for sure, though.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I hear people talking, you know, older guys about how, like, you know, in Carson or, you know, there used to be strawberry fields and things like that.
Yeah.
Things before I was around. But now I can say almost that I was one of the kids that would get dropped off at Redondo Beach Pier and fish all day and get picked up at the, you know, in the afternoon. And that's never going to happen again.
Yeah, right.
So I'll be telling my kids about something that they'll never see.
You know what, though, Sam? Here's a question for you. Do you think society is more dangerous now than it was back then, or not?
There's
I
no
don't know
way.
if it-
Well, legally, you just can't leave.
Right,
it.
legally.
You can't
But
leave a kid there.
In terms of safety.
If there was a 12-year-old kid there and said, "Where's your parents at?"
yeah,
you'd
you
be in
get your
trouble.
kids taken away
Yeah,
from you.
so there's no way.
Yeah.
You just couldn't
That's
do
the
it.
problem, you think?
Well, look, I mean, whether it's more dangerous or not, yeah, I think we do fear it a lot more.
Right.
Whether it actually is, you know, that's
Who knows?
debatable.
It may be that the spotlight.
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
news,
that's debatable. I think
Yeah.
we fear it more, but it's definitely not legal for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, BB Dang says copious was my second guess. Very good. Congrats, Phil, on the great foresight. I like the seagull sounding off. Do you like the seagull sound on?
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah.
You know what my idea on that was? That when a guy's out on a boat and he hears the seagulls, he's going to think of my show. So, no, you're not buying that. Okay. Maybe I'm stretching a little too much.
Stretch it a little
Anybody out there ever been on a boat and heard the seagulls and said, "Hey,
Phil
Friedman
Friedman.
Adventures"? If somebody has, then let him know. It actually did work.
I should
Victory-
be nicer.
Yeah. Slam and Sammy's going on the Victory tomorrow. We got kelps, says the captain.
Yeah.
I say you got an excellent chance. Sammy, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you all night. I think you got a really, really good chance. What do you say, Sam?
For sure. Take everything. Take everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be good fishing tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And the weather is perfect right
Yeah.
now. It's gorgeous. Tony Russo.
And take your camera.
Yeah.
Bring four rods is for sure.
Tony Russo. I grew up fishing at Paradise Cove. Those were good times. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paradise Cove was a great place. And then I think a storm wiped that out.
Paradise Cove?
Up near Malibu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been out there? I haven't
No.
either.
I've heard of it, but never been there.
Yeah, I've never gone out there. Doug Rubin, El Sueño. Hello, guys. Doug Rubin's a private boater. He has a boat called El Sueño. He's an absolutely wonderful guy. We love him. Thank you for tuning in, Doug, for sure. 93 likes. Sam gets to go home when we hit 150. Richie Rich, who's the winner tonight.
7 away, 7 more.
My dad used to drop me off at Redondo Pier and pick me up at noon. That's when they used to have live bait on the pier.
Yeah.
Me too,
Yep.
Rich. Same thing.
That was
Yeah.
the deal too. The live bait boat would pull up.
Yeah.
You know, and they
new Sunbeam.
they lift it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they would throw a
Jim
dipper as they were
Myers.
going out.
Oh yeah, Jim Myers.
They throw a dipper that's going out and it was wide open.
Yeah.
Every
Jim
single
was my
time.
boss.
The bonita boiling
Yeah,
all over the
everywhere.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
That
are
was
good
pretty
times.
awesome.
And you had a little ticket.
Ticket. Yeah, you'd
And
buy
you
the
go
ticket.
get your live bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool, wasn't it?
That was a good time.
Yeah. Jim Myers was the captain of the
Jim
bait
Myers
boat.
was and Marty was
Marty.
Marty
yeah.
and Gordy.
You know what was funny? I swear to God, and I don't know
By
why.
the way, they can hear me.
As a kid, I observed this. Jim Myers was the captain, and Marty was like the guy, I don't know, a deckhand.
Deckhand or whatever.
Whatever. And there was, I freaking swear to you, there was never, ever a time where Marty walked in front of Jim. And I was watching this like, oh, this is like, Jim was on, and Marty would be behind him. He would never usurp. He would never usurp Jim's
Position.
dominance as the
yeah.
alpha, whatever he was.
No, Jim Myers.
And I used to laugh at that to myself, thinking,
wait, Gordy-
wait a minute, 100,000 times
Gordy
I've
was
watched
after, I
this.
guess.
The Gordy and in fact, Gordy.
Can people hear this?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can hear me. I have a loud voice.
Well, talk up louder.
Okay. Gordy.
He's gonna get banned
Gordy
again.
It was Gordy and Jim Myers ran the boat, and then Wenzel.
Oh,
Kurt watches the show all the time.
Kurt, yeah.
Yes.
He's still alive?
Yes.
Tell him Dan Burns says hello. I love him.
He says hello.
Hello.
He's watching the show. I think he's in Arizona.
Oh, he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big boy.
All right, I got to get caught up here. One storm damaged the pier. Then the second storm, Tony Russo says, finish it off.
three are like
Used to fish the
statements.
Gentleman Speed Twin. Got on the boat from the stairs in the pier. Good.
Sam asked us a question.
Sam, when I worked on the city of Seal Beach, I worked on the boat, and my mother never, ever met Sean Morgan. That was a big mistake.
Sean Morgan's
My
the best
entire
captain
middle
ever.
school and high school, it's definitely illegal now, but good work experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Would you let your kids work on a boat?
Yeah.
You
For
would?
sure. Yeah,
it
yeah.
teaches good work ethic and everything else, right?
I mean, the difference too, I know all these guys, so I would feel confident, like, hey, take care of the kid or whatever.
Right.
I could imagine someone that didn't know him would be maybe a little different.
Right.
But,
I dropped my kids off with Jeff Jessup.
yeah, but you know him though.
I knew
Yeah.
him really well,
Yeah.
and I go, and he goes, yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
And then he also said, like, I'll, kick their ass. With
Yeah.
them. And I wanted that.
Right.
You know? I wanted that. So, yeah. Roland, I cut my teeth on the first string when it was docked
Oh,
in
man.
22nd, circa 1980.
What a boat right there.
Yeah. So
Such
you
a
must
massive-
remember the Desiree thing, the whole thing, right? That was That was back in that time.
Yeah. I don't remember when it happened, honestly.
It was 35 years ago.
I saw the story, but
Yeah.
that boat, the first string, yeah, a lot of good trips on that boat.
Absolutely. Sam Tran, what setups do you recommend for an overnight trip going out of San Diego Thursday?
Everything.
Drink a lot.
Pretty much.
25 pound to 100 pound.
Yeah,
Everything.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I know it's a lot, but the possibilities are endless.
Sam, Scott Buchert was out on the T-Bird today. They had limits of Dorado and Yellowtail by 10 a.m. off 2 kelps. The fish were eating the 80 pound. Scott said the smallest yellows they had were 8 pounds at up to 27 pounds. And this is not bumping into a school of big bluefin tuna, which is not probable, but it's within the realm of possibility,
Yeah, of course.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sam's right. You got to bring it all. If you don't have the heavy stuff, okay. But if you've got it, don't leave it at home, right?
Yeah.
All right. What are you, these two guys?
Oh, I'm 96. I don't even do this fucking stupid.
We're not Israel De La Cruz. Phil, what got you got you into fishing? Mine was going to Ventura Harbor with my family and making ceviche with our catch at the spot. Nothing fresher than that. True. What got me into fishing was my dad, who was not an avid fisherman because he got seasick, chronically seasick.
Okay.
But he introduced me. I mean, I remember my dad and mom, most of my dad though, buying me this yellow drop line with this green cord on the Mondstadt Pier and us fishing for it. And my dad, knowing full well that he was going to get seasick, went on a 4-day trip with my brother and I on the Chubasco.
Wow.
And it was horrible weather. He stayed downstairs vomiting in the trash can for 4 days.
Jeez.
And when he came up, like the galley cook goes, "Who the hell are you?" The poor guy. And so he got us interested in it. And then we took it from there, my brother Paul and I.
Yeah.
And then one day on the Redondo special, a guy named Howard Warbase, who was a deckhand, walked up to us and said, "Hey, how would you kids like to scrub the boat and go for free?" And the rest is history.
Yeah.
The rest is history. So that's how it happened. Not Dockweiler, it was just south of the Topaz Jetty.
Oh.
This is a
that's
secret.
my spot.
Not anymore.
That's the place I took him to catch those other yellowfin the other day. So
Topaz, that's
Yeah.
Torre's Pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really good surf fishing going on there.
That topaz is a secret.
That's the
Excellent.
spot. That's John Devilek. So that's who got all those fish.
What age would be a good time to take my son out offshore fishing? I took mine when he was 2, but
Well,
that's it.
offshore.
Patrick-
I mean, you got to qualify
Right
that.
Patrick was 4 when he caught his first albacore.
Yeah, right
Depends on
now.
the weather.
Well,
Yeah.
Depends on the weather and what you're targeting.
You probably like want to be 10ish, right?
I would
10?
say, but you know, right now with this Dorado and
Hey,
stuff.
what do you leave my $5
got
over
you
there?
there.
Yeah.
Phil, it depends on your kids if they get seasick or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
If they don't get seasick,
Yeah.
it's fine. They have a good time.
You want to
Yeah,
work
that's
it.
right.
You want to work it out, half day, 3/4 day, and if they're okay, then go on overnighter.
But I don't think. Do you think 7 is too young to go offshore? I don't think so.
No.
It's whatever they feel comfortable.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
kids are different.
And you got to make sure you're going out there for them. You're
Yes.
gonna go out there. You're not gonna fish. You're gonna help them catch a fish.
Exactly.
So if you're okay with that, then you can take them young.
Well,
Exactly.
you haven't done it yet. You have young kids. You haven't done this yet.
I know.
It's a new step for you.
I've been taking them on the half day boat.
You know?
Yeah.
So albacore was back. Oh, sorry, Phil.
That's what you need is Dan Burns showing you out.
Albacore, my son did an albacore. We had 100 on Jeff Jessup, the outrider, 118 albacore.
Patrick was 4 when he caught his first albacore, sitting on Alan Girardi's knee, who was a deckhand on the Tracer with Steve Thompson, and he route the whole. You know, he did. I made sure he did
Phil,
it.
Yeah.
Steve Thompson was the best captain.
Steve's a great guy.
And he
Yeah,
passed away. He passed away.
yeah, he did.
He was the best,
We don't have to discuss
hands down.
how he passed away.
No, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he was the best captain.
He was a great guy.
The Tracer wasn't the best boat.
I was
He
in the-
got bit. He got bit.
I was in the wheelhouse with him one day offshore, and it was really funny. A friggin' blue whale came up so close, he had to pull him back,
Oh, wow.
or we had to hit it. And
the
I
Tracer?
still remember that. Yeah,
That boat, remember he slept in three deep?
yeah,
He
exactly.
was with 3 people.
Yeah.
3 people deep.
Can you imagine sleeping with him?
He's 3 people deep.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Sit by the board, Phil.
Anthony's back with another question here shortly.
Yeah.
But let's catch up with some more questions here. This is a great show. I don't care if nobody watched tonight. Your invitation of Dan Burns and Anthony showing up have made this whole, and you too.
You're gonna get
I'm
a
sorry,
lot of
but
rewatches on
I'm
this.
gonna get-
Yeah,
yeah.
me 5 times come down.
Nobody has said I'll never
I
watch
begged
the
them
show
to come
again.
down. I begged them.
Yeah, really.
I know a lot. I could be like talk more, but
So Big Duke 10 says, I fished the Redondo Pier back in high school, never had a rod and reel. Was taught by an old lady. She simply used a pile of mussels with the meat of one dangling
the muscles,
from the hook
muscles are
with
bad.
a rope
Muscles
down
number 1.
to the water.
Correct.
Yeah, there you go.
Muscles are the best bait.
That is awesome.
Best bait. Muscles are the best.
Matt Resnick, we used to scrub deck with Clorox. Yeah, I remember doing that.
He worked on the Matt, that's my buddy. He worked on the little Malibu, above Malibu, Paradise Cove. What was the boat called? Lembrook. He worked
Yeah,
on
the Lindbrook.
He was on Lembrook. He was a deckhand of Lembrook.
There you are. April Bean says, "Aw, Albert, that's my dad, Albert, who was a prince of a guy." Israel, here's a good one. Most people get bothered by saying the spot you caught your fish, aka spot burner. What's your thoughts on that?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I think
so,
like people that give up
no,
spots,
yeah.
people get mad about that, or
That's sort of a deal that
Yeah.
he gets.
so on my end, and this will include Dan sometimes and other people. Dan will call me and he'll tell me
This is where it's going. on.
where it happened, what, and then tell me whether I can use it or not. And I respect that.
Yeah.
Every single time. If I burn him, I'm never going to get another
Right.
piece of info out of him. If somebody tells me go for it, I don't care. I mean, sometimes it's silly because it's like you get a jig strike somewhere and throw on 100
they say,
tuna,
"Oh, I'm on
and
the
it's like,
270."
oh,
Well-
those fish are going to stay right freaking there. They're not going to.
Offshore's fine because they move.
Yeah, right.
When you're in the island, it's different.
That's a whole different thing.
Well, and that's like you're saying, I mean, the fish aren't going to bite there forever. So if you burn it once, you're never going to get the info
Right.
again. So don't do it.
Right. You gotta. I'll tell you where you run into a problem is Dan tells me, don't put out that, and then somebody else. It's always the first guy first serve
Yeah,
with
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So if Dan says no, I can't say Joe Schmo came to me and gave me the info.
Yeah.
Ha ha. Because he's gonna be bummed. He's gonna be
Yeah.
really pissed.
I get mad at you.
So yeah, Dan gets mad at me all the time. You should give me more than $5, Dan.
I got more than that.
That's right. I know. I'm only kidding you. Tangle diver, or no, wait, let's see. Tony Russo. I went out on the producer last year. Parents dropped off 4, 5, 16-year-old boy and picked them up when we got back. I would have loved that as a kid.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I used to be on the Pursuit out of Redondo.
Yes.
And
John something ran that before.
um,
There was a 3-quarter boat, right? It was,
no. This was overnight. Fishing albacore, fishing
in
the
the 70s?
The Pursuit,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
The Pursuit.
Before the blackjack emblem built.
Gary, yeah, right.
Gary, before Gamble, yes.
And as we were pulling away from the docks, my mom was parked in the parking lot, flashing her brights. Like, have a great trip. My brother and I were like 10 and 12 years old.
Hey, here's a story.
Yeah.
My first trip on the city, they can hear me.
All right.
The city of Redondo. Darry Darvin, point the semis biting. I backlash. And a jig master. My mom's on the boat.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't trust any of these guys. There could be perverts. This is
Quit whispering.
1981,
Yeah.
1982. I backlash. Darry Darvin took care of me. He goes, I'll take care of him. He's my boy. And I worked on the boat ever since.
All right.
My mom loved Darry Darvin and Rick Opinger.
You had never had any
And
trouble?
Rich Rogers.
Yeah.
Rich Rogers, Doris
Yeah.
and Roy Peters.
I know all those
Oh
people.
my God, it was awesome. My mom was so trustable.
Also, too, Redondo, there was a time in which there was a lot of people there that took care of a lot of kids.
Yes.
A lot. It may not have been like that everywhere. I don't know. I couldn't say.
They go to Poncho and Wong's, get drunk at night, but
They took care of the kids. They took care of you for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they did.
Mm-hmm.
They really, really did.
Darry Darvin was my bodyguard.
Yeah.
Miss him to death.
Tony Russo, I went on the produce. Oh, no. Okay. Tangle diver, never too young. Daniel Llanos, I remember the smell of bleach. Me too. We scrubbed the searcher that way. Richie Rich, hey, Sam, what time would be a good time to pick up my winning lure? I live in Whittier, so I can go anytime. Thank you.
Yeah.
When Sam
Monday-
Sam gets there at 2 o'clock.
Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6.
All right. Brandon says, Sam, any. Oh, and then
Any
Sam,
news.
any news on when you'll be getting in the new gear for lobster season? Has Promar already given you updates on the gear?
Yeah. I mean, nothing changed as far as any kind of new gear, but they did just put out something for ordering stuff for the season. So typically it comes in a couple weeks before the season starts. So you'll start seeing some ads and stuff from Promar as far as that stuff coming in.
All right. And Steve Oropezzo,
Steve, yeah.
he should be, I don't know. He teased me and said he was back, and then I haven't seen him for 3 weeks. Yeah, your store.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he
You guys were hot that day,
He
too,
contacted me last night, so hopefully pretty soon. All right. Randy Penny says the guy with the yellowfin grouper burned his own spot. He did. There's going to be 500 people at Topaz Rock.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we'll see.
Ruben Lopez, I think Randy asking to come on the show. Come on, Randy.
Randy, do it, buddy, do it. I'll
Bunch
call
of
you
people
tonight.
are saying it. Joe says you guys are killing it tonight. Yeah, well, it's because Sam is here and we got the peanut gallery
Yeah.
going full speed.
Full speed.
All right, is it time to give away another lure?
Yeah.
And then we have a gaff we're going to give
Yep.
away. So Anthony,
Yeah.
I must say that your questions tonight. Don't stop. I wanted to pay to get a massage tomorrow.
His own question.
No, I didn't even know the answer to
The
that.
depth of his familiarity is
Well,
unfathomable.
Yes,
Right.
you are awesome.
so I
Yes.
didn't really, like I said, I didn't know Phil had this spinning thing that does the picks before, but when I came in last, so I was like, oh, the trivia idea was stupid, but at least hopefully it came into effect.
No, yeah, and not only that, actually,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, this could work really well.
'Cause
We
now you
could
gotta
do
listen.
a couple, maybe one question tonight. We're going to leave it
Well,
open.
yeah, because we
And then the next time we do Patreon members,
Yeah.
and they have to answer that. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
contest
yeah.
of the Patreon.
And that's why I
guys.
like it. It really is a family, you guys. And if you're on the show or if you're watching this podcast for maybe the first time, just please hit that like button.
Nice,
Phil
I
has
like
a
that. You watch
heart
it.
of gold.
You have to
and-
watch it.
And we were going through some clothes. I have 2 kids. My youngest is 5, and the first thing I thought of when we were going to give away some daughter's clothes is we're going to put them in a box. We're going to give them to Phil. That way, the next time he can give them to the warehouse, so that when they go to Mexico, it'll just be one more thing. And if you guys don't know, look back in Phil's videos. He really gives back. And like I said, hit those like buttons, give him the support, because it's the little things like that, like giving clothes away and taking stuff down to Mexico that really displays like his heart. And you get to come on a fishing trip with us. Sam will be on the boat and come on out, man. Come on the Malahini and meet us in person. But anyways, let's give another one.
Hey,
of these great
Anthony,
jigs
and
away.
were you here when I told everybody about the guy from Montana? No, I don't think you were here.
No.
So this guy's on the Pride tonight. He flies in from Montana to go on the Pride with his
Okay.
2 kids. He brings that bag full of clothing from Mexico.
From Montana.
He flew it from Montana. I'm sure that cost him these airlines. Well, I mean, what a guy.
So I mean, hopefully
What an awesome guy.
That's the kind of karma that's going to come back, and hopefully he's the one that gets limits tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's those kinds of things where it's those memories where, you know, as we get paid forward to the next person. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right, what are we giving away, Sam?
So we got this guy.
Another Dan Burns $1,000
Another Dan
lure.
Burns.
I don't fish those things.
So this is knife jig from Mustad. This is their 300 gram Moonriser, all rigged up same way, 200
What, a
pound
Moonriser?
leader. It's called the Moonriser.
Why is it moon? Is it moon?
Yeah, Moonriser. Very good, Dan. You get a star today.
He gets 10 stars.
Ready to go, guys.
Yeah.
All right, what's
So-
the question?
All right, this one's going to be a little easier.
Uh-oh.
Phil has mentioned it in many podcasts or morning briefings. What is Phil's favorite way to catch barracuda?
Jigs.
You're not supposed to answer. All right, let's see. All right, if somebody should I?
Service
go.
Service
line.
line. Travis Strain is the winner.
All
Travis.
right, Travis.
Hey, Travis, are you in San Diego or where are you?
Yeah.
Because I can bring yours.
I said
He's on the
same
Malahini.
thing.
Yeah.
Are you on the Malahini?
We're going to
Or
be
you-
getting on. Yeah.
Okay,
Give me a ball.
Travis, we'll bring it on the Malahini if that's more convenient
I want
for
the
you.
jig.
Dino said I used to get dropped off at Seaforth at the age of 10.
White Daddy.
Travis Strain got the answer right. Jig, megabait. Sounds like surface iron.
Service iron. Yeah, he always
Blue
says,
and white
"Hey,
tatty.
Phil, you know what the
That's
best
awesome,
barracuda
Phil.
is?
Phil
What?
says on the
I
surface
guarantee
iron.
Sammy is know this. He's too young. The best barracuda jig is
Pep
Pet
jig.
5.
a white
Spoofer.
Caddy A1
Oh,
single
yeah.
hook.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
And-
no, not an
Remember that back in
A1.
the day?
Not an
Yeah,
A1.
I
A
do.
double A.
Oh,
Double A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double A or A1.
And that single hook,
And
easy to
the white jig.
Easy to
here's-
shake them off, fire it out, and get another one.
Here's one from
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Remember we fished jigs in 25-pound test?
There's one from
Oh,
Brandon there.
here's one. It must be about
Yeah,
Dan.
yeah.
Hey, Dan, I
Shut
never
up.
had a father. My mom dropping me off at the Seal Beach Pier so I can work on the City of Seal Beach with Sean Morgan. Kenny, the 7-foot tall white guy. I don't know why it says white guy, but he's
Sean
a white guy.
Morgan's 6'6".
And Brian Luna. I hear you, Dan.
About getting
Freaking
dropped off
dead
in a
silence.
month. Yeah.
right.
Sean Morgan's 6'6" or something like 6'5".
I don't know.
Travis said, yeah, woohoo, Orange
I don't
County.
know. Sean Morgan's a big boy.
I think I'm starting to go delirious here,
Yeah.
Sam.
You're losing control
The
here.
white jig, the white single tatty.
He's still on the jig.
That was the best barracuda jig.
I agree.
Phil, that was the best jig.
I know. I totally agree. But I'm.
The blue and white was second.
All right.
He
What
said
else
give
do
it
we
to
have
Phil
up here,
Jr.
Sam?
He said he could give it to him. He could take it for
What do you
him.
got?
Travis is in Orange County.
Perfect.
Throw it to Phil Jr.
Gotcha.
I'll get.
One more
Oh,
like, one
hey
more
Travis. I
There
just.
it is, 100 likes.
Oh,
that.
100
Hey,
likes.
motherfucker.
Travis,
I can't say that.
I gave Phil a bunch of. No, this is a different Travis. Travis Strand. I'm all screwed up.
Hey.
Travis, I'll give it to Phil Jr. I gave him a big bag of stuff for
bring
you
controversy,
because
that's
you.
great.
Yeah, he's got a prizes to pick up. So I'm going to take one of those.
You got it.
Sam comes in here, by the way, and he goes, "Hey, I had four.
yeah, I had four of them."
4 of those jigs. Where did I'm going? I don't know.
I'll give it
Oh,
to
shoot! I gave it one. So the guy that gave me this bag of clothes,
Got a
I
jig.
felt like, yeah,
That's all right.
you know,
Hopefully
yeah,
you'll
I
catch
know.
a big fish on it.
These are
Exactly. All right, I think we're.
stupid.
Are we? Oh, I think we're winding.
No, we're still going.
Don't tell him to be quiet.
Yeah.
He's too
I didn't
fun.
say be quiet.
No,
I was talking to him.
You be quiet.
no. I told him not to tell you to be quiet because you're adding so
I'm
much.
bringing you so much.
I know this is too
I
much.
think $1,000.
We're full.
Keep the thing going.
Yeah. Anthony, are you going to give away a gaff?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's right. We got
Okay.
a gap.
You have another question?
No, yeah, I do.
And then Phil.
Yeah, listen
Yes.
up.
Do you have
Phil,
another?
if I
What?
get Randy on the show,
Yeah.
I can be on it too.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think
If I
that.
get Randy.
Hey, Isaac says keep going. No stopping. We got to keep going. How long have we been going?
2 hours, 2.5
2.5
hours.
hours. Jeez. Can you believe? I honestly didn't know I was going to make it for an hour with my voice.
It was questionable.
Dan Burns,
You have the
man.
best voice in the world.
Thank you, Dan.
So I made this gaff. It's a 4 foot, about 4 foot 3 inch.
I
gaff.
love this whole new segment.
Anyways, but like I said, if you guys like the gaff or the way it looks, you want your own colored gaff, be happy to make one for you.
Can you make like a Notre Dame one for me?
I would love to make a Notre Dame.
Really?
Next Friday, Notre Dame one.
I'm a Brewer.
All right. Gotcha. You're killing me.
All right.
Before we do this and ask the question, if somebody wants to purchase one of these from you, what's your
Give me your
Instagram or what is it again?
I'm just doing on the Instagram. It's Pacific space hookup, so Pacific hookup, and then on you can email me at Pacific hookup at gmail.com.
Pacific hookup at
Quick question, Can you
gmail.com.
make 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot?
Can you make 8, 9,
I
10
can
foot?
make anything. The Calcutta pieces that I've been getting are up to 22 feet, so I can
Yeah,
cut
I don't
anything
want
from
that.
8 feet to 9 foot. You know, sometimes you get on these Dorado and or these bigger fish. I can make them smaller. What I've been using is mustad hooks and fully wrapped with
I'll put
epoxy
over
resin
right now,
prior.
12 foot.
I'm gonna make a 12-foot rod for Dan. That's the
12
next
foot,
one.
12
A 12 foot gaff? Or
12-foot gaff. 12-foot gaff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm on. I got my own fish, Phil.
But if you guys do want something, reach out to Phil or reach out to me. But custom colors, and like I said, I'm just doing this for the channel, and any support that you guys give me is just going to go straight back into it. And like I said, just become part of the family, and I hope that you guys can gaff a great fish with this and send a picture in. So,
They work for Phil. I didn't know he's.
All right. What's the what is the question?
all right.
What's the question? How old is Phil?
How old is Phil?
95, 85, or 75?
That's
75!
95. The
You
answer.
always say you're old. You're not old, you son of a.
I am
You're
too.
not old. Play with golf. I play with 93-year-old golfers.
All
You're
right.
not old. You're young.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
What is the question?
Sorry, Phil.
That's okay, Dan.
So I've heard.
You
I've
brought
heard,
this guy.
I've heard Phil.
Starting to regret it.
Here's the question.
Okay, I've heard Phil describe this fish with a word that is definitely unique, to me at least. Maybe you guys will pick up on this one. What is the other word that Phil uses to describe barracuda? What does he call
I
barracuda?
do know that one. Yes.
Climber?
I do know that. Phil's beard is 22.
Gar!
Gar! Roland!
Roland!
Slime sticks, I have used that, but gars.
Yeah,
Gar-
definitely gar.
Gar-
Because I always think alligator gar, and I never heard it before.
Right.
But, let's see.
Roland.
Roland, you got a brand new gaff, my friend. It's a 4-foot gaff. I hope you like it. If you can't use it, if you don't have a boat, please give it to someone that does. If not, use it and please take a picture of the first fish you gaff with it, my man. I really appreciate it. Congratulations, my man.
Hey, before Anthony leaves, how about some applause for Anthony?
Thanks,
I tell you
man.
what,
Now,
buddy.
what are you doing Tuesday nights? You're part of the show now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
definitely, right? And Dan, you
I thought he
too.
worked for you. I didn't even know.
He does now, obviously.
Yeah.
Just give me a speed rod for my.
It's a great idea,
Hey,
though.
Phil.
Yeah,
That's
Hey,
an
Phil,
awesome
that's
real
the new
quick.
idea. That's what
Hey,
we're
Phil,
doing.
real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
I'm not being
Come on
TV.
over here if
I'm
you
not
want.
being on TV.
All right. Well, your beer is
So this guy,
Yeah.
so my friend's
Dan's taking this thing.
81 years old.
81.
He lost his hand.
Yeah.
He's going fishing me in front, and remember the rod I was telling you
Is that the
about?
guy you were golfing with?
Yes. He shoots under his handicap. He has a tool, and he's gonna let me borrow this. for the
Awesome.
fishing trip.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's got one hand. Called
Okay.
Captain Hook. And this guy is so nice.
Very sensitive of you.
No, wait. No, this guy's gonna let me borrow the rod.
Anthony is
Anthony is
Yeah.
for the guy that's handicapped.
for Captain Hook.
On
Captain
Thursday.
Hook.
Yeah.
No, Captain
Yeah.
Hook doesn't give a shit. He'll beat the shit out of you.
55, rated 55,
82
80
years
pound
old.
grade, up
82
to
years old.
35 pound on
Plays
there.
golf. He has a contraption.
You mean for his hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's gonna grab that. That's it.
He's got some kind
But
of
I was saying-
prosthetic.
I was just saying, Anthony's offered for the rod
Yeah.
for him.
Oh, perfect.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Daiwa, all the way.
That's it, man.
Daiwa. Hey.
Don't tell Mark Mills. Don't tell Mark Mills.
We're all screwed up, man. We're running out of. I gotta go. Just shut this. No,
No, that's pretty good that he did that.
I know. It's really cool.
That's
All right,
My pleasure, man.
we're on low power.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta say goodbye. Hold on one second here.
Thank you for that.
I'll
give it.
right, Rolly, go to Sam's to pick that up,
Really? I'll leave it.
and you're gonna take that gaff too, right,
Okay.
Sam?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll borrow the rod for the thing.
You got it.
Hey, this guy will hang out if you're gonna provide free beer. He'll come down here
Yeah,
too.
come down. All
right.
I'm going to.
I think we're going to a studio audience
Yeah.
with a mic out there. I mean, this is too much.
I'm
Sam,
sorry.
it's been great.
Yeah, man.
Sam,
Did you have fun tonight?
Yeah.
It was a fun show. And I think we covered a lot. Dan, come out here and say goodbye to everybody. I mean, you have added
case you
so
didn't
much
know.
to this
Dan
show.
Burns knows more than Phil.
That's true. That's
true.
it.
I love this guy. I'm this 11 years
Anthony.
old. 11 years old. 11 years old.
I know.
11 years old.
All right, Anthony, who added so
Love
much.
you, buddy. I love you. I came.
Sam.
Sam told me to come down. I ruined the party.
No, you didn't ruin it.
So Randy Penny is going to come out.
Yes?
I'm bringing. He never talks. Randy, you're coming. Son of a bitch.
All right.
He knows more about rods than anyone else.
Everybody's saying great show. So obviously, we
One more plug. I gotta say,
figured out the
everything I get
formula.
from Sam, when I come in and get to see Sam, go into Island Tackle in Carson, and you got to see all the guys that he's
He
got there.
has the most product.
The best, the most products. If you want
He's
everything,
stocking. He stocked too much.
It really is. And
I don't know how you sell it
got
all.
great information. So please,
He's
guys,
got shirts. He's got boots. I go, Sammy, what are you
Everything.
doing?
You're starting to look like you're on a hostage video. I
know, yeah.
Yeah, you really are.
Hey, when you were a little kid, I didn't know you in the bars, but you're my little pinhead, by the way.
All right.
Casey, but
Hey,
Casey-
Anthony, you see that little X up there in the right-hand corner?
Yeah.
It's time to push it
I thought you worked
when
for
we
you.
all say
I
goodbye.
didn't do it for you. I didn't.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
see
you.
you, Friedman family.